Hello, everybody, and welcome back to VESL Thursday Night Lights. I'm still Succulents, joined by Hell Monkey Man, and we apologize so greatly for that. You guys know how live production can be. Sometimes the stream will just get a little bit wonky, but we got it all figured out. We're super excited to be jumping into Brawlhalla in just a couple of minutes.
It's going to be a fat one as we go into some teams that we mentioned before that all have found some general success. 4-2 out of the Palisades Pumas. The purple squad will be coming in through. Olympic Red, the Trojans, sending one of their best at 4-2. And Jack Brick Purple, he is 1 week behind. So they're going to be looking for a way to continue their success because they were 4-0 through their first 2 matches. And if we've seen anything, it's been really the ebb and flow of battle kind of catch some people swept off their feet.
Yeah, without a doubt. A great performance across the board from all sides, all 3 players coming to the table today. And I'm excited to see which characters or champions they're going to choose to bring out because we've seen a lot of versatility and a lot of viability from several kind of subclasses of Brawlhalla in the last couple of weeks. There hasn't really been any kind of meta, and those are my favorite kinds of games where you get rewarding for playing the characters that you are most comfortable playing.
Yeah, just finding a way to be able to work your way through. We have seen also kind of an evolution of be it from want to be fast, want to be able to have a greater defense, but also some favored weaponry. Be able to see a lot more of that lance. I mean, I saw it 2 weeks ago. I don't know how much changed last week. Whenever you were hanging out with Time to Light, by the way, shout it over to TTL. But felt like there was so much rocket lance play because it just allows you to be able to have that extra boost of moving around these maps.
Yeah, the lance has definitely been our most consistent item, with maybe the gauntlets as a close second.
Yep.
The one that we've definitely seen the least of is the blaster. Far and away, nobody's really playing the blaster matchup. But jumping into our first matchup, maybe we can get a little bit of a change on the board here. We've got Cool Awesome versus Big Things going head-to-head. Volkov versus Red Raptor. Now, I actually haven't seen anybody play Red Raptor yet, but in terms of aesthetic, he is one of my favorites.
Okay, yeah, he's got the old Super Sentai. I am all for that, so we go into this one as well. How will it pan out? We'll get to see. And you know what? If you guys have never watched a Gurren Lagann, please watch Gurren Lagann, okay? It's one of my favorite anime of all time, and he definitely looks like at least someone that would jump into and saying, my drill will pierce the heavens! But we're going to go to game number 1.
Game number 1 coming out head-to-head here. Already going to be a pretty early aggression here for Ascent. We see Ku is taking a bit of damage on the board. I believe it's going to be Ku from Olympic Red and Palisades Purple on the Ascent side. I'm going to call it Ascent because that's how it's abbreviated in Valorant, and that's how my brain is coded. But we're going to be going in head-to-head here. The Battle Axe on one side of the wall to another. The bike through the entire stage to jump up and over. A lot of patience, though. Neither of these players willing to get particularly brawly quite yet.
Yeah, not quite. And you do also have some extra dexterity that Ascent is playing on that Volkov. He also has kind of that mid-range game, considering that you have both the axe as well as the scythe. And opposite of that, you're playing long range with Cool Guy onto the Red Raptor with Orb, or he's got the boots. So whether that works out or not, you're going straight into the hands, and that's going to be Ascent with that first kill.
That's going to be a Cool Guy going down early on here, able to find some good opportunity. I believe it was Big Things might have been the player name, now that I'm trying to use my brain to remember the site from out. But we do see Cool Guy going in with that staff, a big fist punch upwards, not able to find the momentum. But speaking of momentum, it's really starting to shift. We've got a near 0 to death on the board, and it will come to completion there. That is the second stock off in the blink of an eye.
And that is just not enough damage being done here early. You actually do have a Ascent that is in complete control. So can they be able to send us out with a 3-0? They use the grab off of the scythe. They have used such good short-range combinations to just keep him just off pressure. He can't even get a weapon. See if he'll be able to use those boots. He finally gets one, even trade, but just as soon as he starts getting comfortable, he is just off put by the grab from that scythe. Maybe they get this first, but no, that life is still there.
Yeah, maybe they're going to be able to try and get the first here.
Oh, let them
quite yet. Off stage, into the return there. Oh, that could be it. That will be it. 3-0 victory there for the first matchup. That's going to be Volkov. No, it is. The player's name is Ascent, excuse me.
Nice.
I believe, at least the character's name is Ascent. Whatever. Ascent wins. Palisades Purple puts themselves up early in that first matchup. But this is a best of 3 after all, so plenty of game left to be played.
Volkov, Ascent on Volkov, rather. I mean, look, when you get to see a lot of Brawlhalla, you actually get to see a lot of characters. I feel like there's so many that translate between one another. Definitely love the overall scythe play, and they went for immediate impact damage when they were playing into that battle axe. Definitely using a lot of that extra dexterity in that stance to their advantage, but off of Red Raptor, didn't get to really kind of see them even have stage presence. There was one time they actually used that Akira bike slide to see if they could catch him off guard. Even then, couldn't quite get a single life off of him.
not a lot of value there, unfortunately, in matchup number one. But that is why these are best of threes
Yeah.
after all. So as our players get ready to go back into the fray, into the mix, hopefully we're going to be seeing a couple of champion swaps, and if not, maybe a little bit more comfortability on the champions that we saw leading up to that point in time. Regardless, we've seen some decent gameplay. We've got two more best of threes after this, and then we've got Marvel Rivals after that. So plenty of the game left to be played here today, but hopefully our players are ready to jump into their second matchup in just a minute or two.
Then also, I believe that this is an Olympic matchup with is Cool Awesome on Olympic? I think they are.
I believe so.
So that means Palisades would be for the side of Ascent, right? Maybe? Question
I
marks?
think so.
Possibly.
That's
Okay.
what's happening in my mind.
Okay,
If we're
all right.
wrong, well, hopefully we get that fixed.
We'll see how that continues to kind of go through the rub, because I feel like that was definitely just being off put. You will have blasters. By the way, shout out a plasma rifle in the hands. Look, I'm a Halo guy, so Cool Awesome is just trying to win me out. They got Snake Eyes, they got Leonardo. So another short range game. Leonardo loves those dual katanas.
Oh, undoubtedly so. This is the second week, I believe, in a row. One of the teams come to an appearance here. It's going to be Snake Eyes, though, the first G.I. Joe representation we've seen here on stream thus far, with both players swapping. That's always a little bit exciting, right? Because it definitely to play, and you're not able to opponent as quickly as you would have same character twice.
Yeah, so in fact, it has been confirmed Palisades Purple is here, so they would be able to move over to 6-2 if they do finish this off right now. For Cool Awesome on the side of Olympic Red, they're down to 4-3, but one to a game number 3. And even when with them chasing and moving off of that Volkov, you still have a Scythe whenever you trade out of the dual katanas.
Yeah, the Scythe is beneficial. I mean, we've seen Ascent very comfortable Scythe so far. I wouldn't be surprised to see them continuing to stick to it. But as this game continues to unfold, they're really starting to get warmed up, take some more aggressive play styles, get in the face of their opponent, and really start to take the lead on this matchup, at least in terms of the damage dealt. Both players still standing at 3 stocks on the board.
Cool Awesome trying to create the separation, and just as he does so, he gets skied to the top blast zone. Oh my goodness! Ascent doing work. Will toss the extra weapon off of the stage, and now that actually creates a situation where he has to be able to find that gap. Finally gets past them, but it has been so tough. And now they have those dual blasters. They are just being bullied around this stage. This might quickly turn into a second stock, but they'll toss him up. That explosion will create even more space as they look for a meteor smash.
Going to be 3-2 on the board. That time to take both stocks is going to be closing pretty quickly here. They want to go up and get hyper aggressive. That might be another 0 to death, but instead they're going to be able to get back onto the stage. They put them feet on the ground, and that negates the 0 to death opportunity. Scythe is back up. Damage is dealt. Distance is closed, and Cool Guy might be going down pretty soon here.
Been tough for them to ultimately just kind of get their footing. Still though, as they both have this high damage meter. Cool Awesome, he definitely wants to be able to at least stand in the way, but Ascent, he has another potential to go 3-0. Still not a life given to Cool Awesome, and he has just been bouncing around consistently, taking weapons out of the hands of Cool Awesome. See if he can at least steal one lightsaber. Oh, Ascent will eventually get a combo directly in their faces. They want to go back on stage. What a bait to get him off stage again.
Oh, this could spell disaster. Ku is going to be able to get back up onto the stage here at a pivotal moment, just even trying to take a single stock off the board, which they are going to be able to do. 2-1 now. Ascent has the opportunity to find a victory here in this first best of 3, but they have to play it carefully. It could end up costing them if they get a little too overconfident, and we have to end up going to game 3.
Oh, quick fist fight, showing they don't even need a scythe in hand, but they will go reaping for the rest of your life force, chasing them down. Cool Awesome has had no time to think, no way to really breathe as they get up kicked, and they're just getting comboed straight off. As they work this corner, it is going to be dodging, diving, ducking. Can they find even more? That is going to be it. Ascent, they give up only 1 life. But GGs are called. Snake Eyes, good guy, good games, but it's going to be a 2-0 the way of Ascent.
A 2-0. Now, the good news is we are going to see Cool Awesome with the opportunity to try again in their second best of 3. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the next one or the tertiary one that we'll be seeing, but regardless, we are not done with that Snake Eyes yet here today. 1 player, 2-0 victory. 2 more best of 3s to go, and 1 player still to be introduced in Brawlhalla. Truly anybody's game.
It really is. And I do like that there's definitely a mindset and a gameplay that you just go in with a strat. You know that you want to play close quarters, especially if you're playing much more to Scythe. And it consistently just takes you out of the way that you're setting up your combinations, because that Scythe grab will bring you right back and either can displace you to go behind where ultimately that player was, or it goes right into the face. And we see great, I think there was a lot of uppercuts that brought him to that upper blast zone. So if you're seeing yourself having to walk into Ascent, you know you're getting the hands. And when we see Jack Britt Purple come through, which I believe at minimum whomever is going to be from that squad moving in, their undefeated record is definitely up for grabs depending on how they take that fight.
This will be fascinating because Jack Britt is going to be coming up next. As mentioned, it's going to be Palisades versus Jack Britt. So we're going to see Ascent stick around. But this player, 1 week behind, currently undefeated, but they haven't had as many opportunities to lose. Is that going to matter? A, with their playstyle, B, with their performance, and C, with just the nerves coming into this matchup? How are they going to feel playing against teams with a little bit more experience, a little bit more playtime on the books here at VESL? Is it going to change how they bring themselves to the table and how they're going to perform? Only one way to find out.
Yeah, we'll be seeing that around the corner in case you guys are, in fact, sticking around for other things that are happening during the stream. Directly following some Brawlhalla, we will have our 4th giveaway. So I know that you're teaming, you're bringing with energy just around. And of course, after some more down the way that we will be seeing Marvel Rivals. So a lot of competition still happening throughout this. And as we have several weeks of the Thursday night lights here for the spring semester forthcoming, everyone's finding their better peaks and valleys. And I feel like it's not too much separation between the two because they're refining and honing their general skills, be it academically or on the map. So I believe, we have received confirmation. So it's going to be Ascent walking into the hands of A+ Brawler. That's Mistybot. Oh, goodness. Mistybot is a smash killer. This is going to be a tight one.
Uh-oh, no wonder somebody's gone undefeated so far. It is a familiar name, I believe, jumping into Brawlhalla here instead, trying to go toe-to-toe. Now, I'll be honest, though, Smash and Brawlhalla, quite different titles. So let's see if Misty's going to be able to carry that same level of aggression and performance against a player as seasoned and as warmed up as Ascent.
Yeah, so Mistybot definitely is one of those guys that goes just all hands all the time. And if you guys have ever kind of played some old school Smash, Brawlhalla was built on the backbone of everyone that loved to be able to throw swords, throw baseball bats off of items. So that's where it kind of works off of. Love that they actually see some extra consistency with Mistybot, but he's playing off of the bow that we haven't seen pretty much from anyone else, but it also turns into a dual scythe when in close range.
The dual scythe has, the scythe across the board has been a very effective weapon thus far for every team and player that has chosen to use it, but both players, critical condition, nobody going down quite yet. I thought Ascent was going to be sent into the blast zone, but it's going to take a couple of seconds more. No, still alive, still back onto the stage, and it's Misty who gets thrown toward the blast zone instead.
Mistybot is using that hammer, and they've switched over to the scythe, recognizing that those dual blasters are just not going to work. And I thought that they're going to DI their way back to stage, but instead, first life will be found off of Mistybot. He's going to try and complete the run, as it is a ton of extra damage. Should be able to get at least Ascent into second stock before this one is over. He will have a quick dodge, and they go right back to their primary as they go back to the bow. So Mistybot receiving once they have put out. Finally, they'll get us to 2 apiece.
2 apiece. Ascent losing their first stock for the first time on stream here today. Can Misty take the second and, more importantly, the third? And then the hard part of that, how am I going to, you have to do it again. So this is going to be fascinating. We see Ascent with a decent lead here, at least in terms of damage, sending Misty toward the top blast zone. Unfortunately, the damage hadn't been dealt consistently enough to send them into that blast zone and take that stock off the board.
Of the juggling that we were able to see a moment ago. Those dual blasters, they actually allow you to really just kind of displace your opponent as long as you can land contact, but there's such good dodging that Mistybot is bringing to the stage. Really has been some patience game. You see the separation. Both these players are actually playing with non-point blank range weaponry. They can use it at that angle, and you actually can see the sweep when they use the scythe end or the blade end of that bow. But now as they start to push them off, they can poke them and prod them. They switch it over just as they ramp up the pace. Mistybot, it's the receiving end of the Reaper.
Ascent trying to go undefeated here today, but same story as Ascent, as I said, against Mistybot. They have to do this a second time. This is only the first matchup of the 2 of them thus far. Although this honestly feels like one of our slower matchups, these players are really starting to get heated up. Mistybot goes towards Ascent, going to be able to take them off to the left. Blast on the wall jump goes in. Misty air dodges away instead of going for that fatal strike. No opportunities yet. Misty back on the stage. Ascent looking for a scoop on that scythe. Doesn't pick up the corner shot. Gets thrown off stage. The scythe not close behind. Both players still standing. My goodness.
I'm actually a little surprised that they decided to go over to the bow. I feel like they have a game plan to actually force Ascent off stage and then start getting long shots, and that's exactly what they do. So they are in a bad damage situation, but they've gotten to 1 apiece. Ascent, he's gonna get Goomba stomped for all of a moment. They try to switch things up, going from the bow back to the hammer. They try to bait him in as well, but if they do that, they're gonna get that tough end of that scythe. They're gonna quickly dodge, get back up onto the corner, but it's gonna be Ascent again, and they will finally put a blemish into what was a perfect record.
Very solid performance for Ascent thus far. Has to win it one more time to take Misty down and out of the equation to go undefeated here tonight. Could be a great performance for them leading up to this point, but only time will tell if they're going to be able to do it. That was our closest matchup so far of the night. Misty does unfortunately fall short, 2-0 being that remaining score line in the stock count. Hopefully they're going to be able to warm up a little bit better. They've played that first match. They've shaken off the rust. Going into this second one, it's now or never.
I do wonder if there's going to be any kind of switch up out of Mistybot. We've seen the same similar game plan. Because he definitely had a bow. He wanted to be able to get as much damage, create that gap, and then be able to kind of poke him as much as he can. Maybe even for a kill confirm. They did it with a nice edge guard as they just forced him to not be able to grab onto that wall. And that was effective all of one time. Might have another one kind of in the weapon and the arsenal of things. So we'll see how this one kind of develops. As you, unlike Smash, where you can just kind of main one, you look to switch things up, and they are going to be working on to Mirage.
Yeah, Volkov versus Mirage here. So a bit of a switch up on both sides, or at least a return to form from Ascent here. Hopefully this is going to be able to work a little bit better. The Mirage, again, a character I haven't had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with quite yet, so perhaps the playstyle is going to be a little bit less familiar to me, but seems to be doing a lot of damage, and with a decent amount of speed behind him, this could be a huge benefit.
So for Mirage, he's a bit, he's got fast and greater dexterity, but even more strength, but his defense is pretty low. So kind of a glass cannon. Mirage, or rather, Mistybot on this Mirage. Let's see if they can go all in and force Ascent to have to make some decisions that maybe they ought not want to do. And in opposite of that, they went right back to the Volkov that we saw in their very first game of the night. Quick toss of the Battle Axe as they want to switch it right back to a familiar side.
Already, we see Misty's taken nearly the entire first stock worth of damage. A lot of aggression coming out from Ascent. They are more familiar on this Volkov. They know exactly what they want to bring to the table. They know the playstyle they're trying to perform, and that's going to be a really good example. I think that Battle Axe, just barely misses the opportunity to find it, and it will be that down spike instead. Ascent able to find that first stock off of Mistybot and put themselves in a very close to winning position.
I know it's just first stock, but there's just something so sweet about being able to get some of those quick spikes. Something just feels so unequivocally just, if it's great. It's a fantastic way to be able to finish off your opponent. And man, the redirection that we're getting out of Ascent, he has definitely mastered what he wants to get out of these sides, and just consistently forcing Mistybot to have to reconvene and reattune where they want. That 2 quick grabs and the speed at which we're seeing Ascent really execute feels like they're going to try and go 2-0 on the day, especially because they're 2-0 in this game 3, and they have forced last life out of Mistybot. Oh, he said nah. He said he's done. All right, that'll be it. An undefeated evening here for Ascent as they go 2-0, 2-0, and make it look great here through both their matches. All right, so on Volkov, that ended up being just the bread and butter situation that you wanted to see Ascent get. For Mistybot, felt like they were forced into a tough situation overall to switch up their game, and it wasn't exactly how they wanted to play. It seemed they could simply shift things around. But other than that, Mistybot's going to have another chance as they will be going into match number 2 for themselves on the night, as well as for Cool Awesome. So the Pirates out of Jack Britt will be backing Mistybot, as on the other end for Olympic Red from the Trojans, Cool Awesome will bring themselves back into and onto the stage. Key difference is that we never really got to see Cool Awesome find themselves into that matchup, whereas Mistybot was actually kind of staying at least head and shoulders directly across from Ascent. But I mean, can they keep that momentum? Felt like there's a little bit of stank, a little bit of attitude at the end of the game, considering that they know they were pretty much dusted down to last life and couldn't get any of theirs before they were upended. So we'll have our first legend be chosen. We're actually going to show this to you guys into completion, as Mistybot will be first to get their guy. And of course, if you guys have your favorite legend, make sure to tell us all about it. There's a huge cage of all these characters, so you can pretty much kind of put your hand into the wind and grab anyone and be able to find your way to be good with them. So, and in case you guys are wondering, yes, Mistybot was part of the Smash last season, so love to see them continuing to go deep into the FGC scene with everyone here tonight. And we will be finishing up with this last match for Brawlhalla and a giveaway right after, so don't touch that dial. And if your computer has dials, I tell you to upgrade if you can. Please do so. I'm doing so as well. All right. Cool Awesome has joined us in the lobby. So they will be choosing their legend, and we'll be going over to this one in just a moment. Remember, it is still a best of 3. And in case you missed the whirlwind expertise that was Ascent a moment ago, he did go 2-0-2-0. So improving, I believe, to, let's see, I guess that would be overall 6-2 between everything. So great work by them so far on the season. Looking like maybe one of the faves to try and wreak some havoc over in States. All right, so it's going to be Azoth with Mistybot and Red Raptor right back to it. So they're going to be going for that bow. They're going to be going to try and use the hammer to, I guess it's like a hammer and chisel, but give the chisel some long range if you can manage it and get a chance to be able to actually aim. Opposite of that, Red Raptor wants to go right back to some orb fighting, kind of glass cannon style. See how this one goes ultimately through. As we go into game number 1, Cool Awesome definitely wants to find a win. Mistybot, much the same. Both these guys got 0-2 on the night in both of their previous fights. And it is hands being brought off the Azoth. It's kind of a more balanced affair. You got a lot of strength, you got a lot of defense, but you don't have a lot of speed. So you have to really kind of pick your poison and pick your initial positions, especially when you're playing off of that bow and then ramping it up over into the battle axe. Cool Awesome will catch that axe to the head as they're unable to pick up that previous weapon. I thought they were going to be going for it, but maybe that was all of a bait. Instead, they're going to be using those shoes and moving across the board. Battle Boots, finding a connection, quick juggle. Off of the outside stage, they're trying to use that AoE from off of the bow, seeing if they can get any kind of connection. Orb switch up, but oh my goodness, thrown way outside. That's the kind of style that we're used to seeing from Mistybot. Still just kind of playing this one coy, waiting them out to see if those battle boots will kind of close the distance for them, but they actually use the same thing with the bow. Quick combination, and Mistybot is forced into a pressure situation, just kind of holding on ledge, and Cool Awesome is not at all going to flirt with the idea of going towards outside stage. They want to control center stage, and they will kick Mistybot in the Misty butt. Oh, that's a big throw. They will go for the orb, and they're going to try and use the Akira slide to come through. Massive knuckles to see if they can get that uppercut and begin the juggling again. Mistybot has not been allowed to land, and they have a lot of, they have a very high damage threshold here for their first life. Trying to be able to land that one, but Cool Awesome will take the gap from behind. Good ledge guard, but they catch that one with their feet as well. Mistybot still has now been able to equal up and get some bonus damage onto Cool Awesome. Ooh, big throw of the battle boots. That means they don't have much, but you got enough considering how hurt Mistybot was. They just wanted to secure that life. It will eat that orb. See if they can be able to take even more damage and deny Cool Awesome from having much. They will have the battle boots, but considering how deep they are into their own damage threshold, feels like Mistybot can play this one a lot more by the book. Oh, they will so. That same shot is just so terrifying, so lethal. So, Cool Awesome down to the last life here for game number 1 of our final best of 3 of this trifecta of Brawlhalla contests. I want to be able to pick up that orb, but they actually will cut the distance down using the Akira slide. They will get sliced up and diced up, hoping to be able to juggle them up, but instead they will be upended, caught in traffic, and hit, looking for a battering ram. They bring that robot boot down, trying to be able to read if they would hit the stage first. Man, so much fast, quick hopping, seeing what they can do completely from here. Mistybot has Cool Awesome on the rope, so Cool Awesome not going down without a fight. Mistybot from this outside stage, it's just Cool Awesome that's waiting to make all these plays from mid-stage, but Septilence, this one finally to completion. Red Raptor just couldn't get that second light off. Misty and Mistybot got to be feeling a lot better going into this first game.
Yeah, I mean, Mistybot definitely comes into a tough scenario of this, right? You lose your first matchup, but you know that. I mean, you know you're a talented player through and through. You know you've got what it takes going into this. So maybe they use a little bit of that gusto, a little bit of that energy to come back in, feel a little bit more confident with their play style. It's a return to comfortability, and they chose to play well there in that first matchup of their second matchup. Let's see if they can do it one more time and wrap up Brawlhalla.
All right, so we got to see him try out Azoth again. Definitely wants to kind of switch up the pacing. You go between that bow, you cut that distance, and use such good AoE attacks. None of that was able to develop whenever he was facing off earlier against Ascent. That was so well read, and I think Ascent was just very measured about how to be able to take that on. But we have Jay-Ewan and Orion. Complete switch up from both of our players tonight. They have not shown either of these legends before.
First time we've seen Jaeyoon since week 1, actually. We saw him in a single matchup week number 1, and he's going to be making his return here on the stage. I believe it's Misty behind the wheel of Jaeyoon right now. Cool, awesome. Going to be bringing out that Orion in return. So I'm afraid this is going to end up being a battle of the distance. Cool, awesome has to get up close and personal to play, and Misty can play from a mid to close range. But let's see if that lance that we talk so much about can make a difference here.
That rocket lance is actually such a great kind of upend of, all right, I'm gonna be here. Yep. Nah, I've got some boost. I can be able to move across stage. The indifference, the Jaeyoon that we were seeing out of Mistybot is not really too different from the way he wants to play, with massive strength behind a lot of his blows, especially with that great sword. That you switch between the regular sword from the cleaner into that great sword, and there's just a huge apparatus that you got to get around. But that Buster sword is receiving the hands off of the spear.
Getting tired, unfortunately. It's going to be that knockback that puts Misty right back onto the stage. You're taking a lot of damage on both sides. Both players just one decent combo from being sent face first into that blast zone. Misty not able to find it because the air dodging from Cool Awesome is really adding up well at a pivotal time like this. Both players just desperate to not be the first person to make that mistake, but it will be that first elimination onto Misty. That puts Cool Awesome in the lead for the first time all night.
Yeah, I'm actually not surprised with the way that they've decided to kind of shift their overall idea. They've been playing on much more dexterous overall stance legends. On an Orion, you're actually dropping a ton of your damage to be balanced everywhere else. You have great movement, you have great defense, you have the ability to just find speed, and that is making it difficult for Misty to actually set up the combos that make them comfortable. They're going to go for an immediate edge guard as they bait Misty out, but then that massive poke off the great sword will even us up.
And Misty is going to be looking for that opportunity to strike here because they want to make sure they retake that lead. They took a little bit of extra credit damage as they lost that first stock early, and now they're going to have to try to make up for some lost time. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be, but a performance through and through is necessary regardless. Beautiful combo there off stage. Not going to be able to find that elimination yet, but you've gotten closer to equaling the playing field until Cool Awesome hits a combo of their own.
Cool Awesome loves to play from center stage. Even whenever Mistybot is recovering from off ledge, he does not want to be there. Love the sweep of the sword, and not only did he recover, but he got a finisher, so there is a chance that we're going to be seeing a game number 3. Quick combination. Mistybot wants to not give Cool Awesome a single chance to just stay on stage, and they want to do it through absolute force.
Yeah, I mean, if Mistybot wins this, they're going to be able to send Cool Awesome away without a single full set victory on the night. But Cool Awesome getting closer and closer to taking this into more dangerous up close and personal territory. Misses the lance down throw, though. Not going to be able to have that weapon available. Trident as the backup. It's going to be a weapon drop. Misty grabs it, sword back into the fray. Oh, come on. Just shot for shot here. No, it isn't. My goodness.
Oh, they've got that floating platform. They have a chance to be able to upend. I love that they got the poke from on high, but you got to be careful. If they actually go for a throw, you're going to receive so much extra damage. Cool Awesome will dominate center stage, and they're actually use that quick jet to cut the distance. Going to throw it away. They've got, they trade for the rocket lance, but that gives Mistybot the go-ahead for the baseball bat swing. They will go 2-0, and unfortunately for the Trojans, it just never really got started here for a Cool Awesome. There were some moments there, especially from finding that first stock, but Mistybot had the expertise and the overall experience to be able to finish that out.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, tip my hat to all 3 players. We had an undefeated, broke even, and unfortunately only defeated. We got every possible outcome that we could have seen, and that is super exciting. But I know that we've got our Marvel Rivals players ready just around the corner. So before we throw it to a break, let's go ahead and celebrate another giveaway winner. Let's find out who it is.
Drum roll, please. Pikamare! One of our other Smash players. Let's go.
one of the more recognizable, one of the first Smash players I ever commentated here at VESL. Fun fact, something that matters only to me. But regardless, Pikamare, congratulations on that giveaway victory, folks. We're going to go ahead and throw it to a break here. We'll be right back with Marvel Rivals in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Hey. Does your character have a serious facial expression?
No. Is your character big?
I do believe he's definitely one of them. Oh, I just said he. Is your character blonde?
Yes.
No way.
Oh, is your character from Valorant?
No. 4-3. Is your character Mercy?
No. Is your character's name more than 2 syllables?
Yes, actually. Is your character Zelda?
No.
What? Is your character Captain Falcon?
Why are you looking at us? You do something about it.
Yes, it is. God. Is your character Shulk?
It is.
I picked a character, and now he has to guess it in less than 10 questions.
Is it from the Mario franchise?
No.
Okay, well. Is it from the Fire Emblem franchise?
No. That's 2 questions right
That
there.
is 2 questions right there. Is it from Pokemon?
It is not.
What the Sigma, bro? Is it a DLC character?
No.
Is it Snake?
It is not Snake. That was a wild guess.
Well, it's true. I didn't even guess about the Legend of Zelda franchise. Are they from that?
No.
Are they human?
Yes.
Have I ever played them before?
How am I supposed to know?
Is it from Street Fighter?
It is not from Street Fighter.
Are they female?
Yes and no.
Is it Ice Climbers?
It is Ice Climbers.
Ever wondered why Doctor Strange's portals caused FPS drops in Marvel Rivals? Well, it really is a feat of modern computer engineering since you're simulating two worlds coming together. Since it's so complicated, when Marvel Rivals first came out, a lot of users had issues trying to load Strange's portals. But what exactly caused this? First, we got to talk about how the portals actually work. One of the first and most famous examples of wormhole portals in games is, of course, Valve's portal. The portals here stick to the wall and spawn a camera at the portal's location to show the portal's POV. And then they also adjust their angle to match the player's angle. In order to fix the weird perspective, you've got to pull the camera back away from the portal and also zoom in to fix the FOV and also match the player's view distance. Now it looks good, but does it portal good? No. When objects start to clip into the portal, they're then teleported to the other portal, which makes them look flat. So just create two instances of that object, both existing at each portal, and now it both looks and acts real. But what doesn't act real is Marvel Rivals portals. 17 years later, and Marvel Rivals portals has less tech than Portal. Strange's portals don't spawn a second character, so you can't exist at both locations at the same time. It's less complicated, but still drops your frame rate. Why? It's all because of those silly little cameras spawned at each portal. Your GPU instantly starts rendering 3 times the amount of pixels, which acts as if you just plugged in 2 extra monitors into your computer and started playing 2 more games. That's a great way to fry your computer.
Let's see who can guess their Marvel character first. Is my character female?
No. Do they have the body shape of a human?
Yes. Is my character a god?
No. Does my character a duelist?
They are a duelist. Are they an alien?
No. Does my character have like superpowers?
Yes. Is my character ranged?
Yeah. Let's flip it, guys. Is my character melee?
Yes.
Oh, I'm thinking Wolverine. Oh.
Is he a duelist?
No. We got Magic, Spider-Man, Wolf. Hopefully I'm not missing any melees though. Is my character a
Are they a Vanguard?
Yeah. Is their main color yellow?
Yes.
Oh,
I gotta go with my gut. Is it Doctor Strange?
no.
Really?
Is my character Wolf?
No, it's Wolverine. No, I'm just kidding. It is Wolverine. I gotta get my redemption. Is it Magneto? Yeah.
Josh is flying blind. Can I get him to land on the blue circle? Let's find out. Taking off, and you're good. 10, 20, 30. Stop, like drop it like half height. Going down. All right, you're good. Go forward a little bit and left a little bit. And bring it back just a hair. Keep going back. Just keep going back and then drop it halfway. You don't know what halfway is, just drop it a little bit. One more forward, flick it back twice, and drop it. I can't tell. Close enough!
Which one of us knows more about Valorant?
How many seconds does pre-round last?
Pre-round as in like just regular or like the pistol round?
Here, let's do pistol round.
45? 40. No, it's
I think pistol round's 40, I think regular round's 30.
40 seconds. How long does jet smoke last?
4 seconds.
4.5.
4.5 seconds.
It's 4.5.
Come on now, yeah, I got that 0.5 in.
Where's Astra from?
Oh God. Can you do the how she talks? No?
I don't remember any of those lines right now.
Oh, we both agree for a hint?
Yeah.
Can we get a hint? Great, so we guess out, say Egypt.
That's definitely not right.
Oh shoot, I was gonna
What
say
letter does it start with?
G?
Ghana?
Ghana.
Cancel the Astra one. We both didn't know. Make sure to subscribe.
Who leads Valorant?
Brim is one.
Brimstone, Jet, and Sage.
I want to say Brimstone, Sage, Phoenix.
Brimstone, Viper, and Sage.
Viper? It's
I thought
Viper.
she was like a villain.
What profession did Jet do before joining Valorant?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
I don't, why am I thinking like a barber or something?
She was a track star.
A chef?
Chef.
Yeah.
She was a chef.
Yeah.
Who can guess their Marvel rival character first?
Is my character a support?
Yes. Is my character male?
No. Ooh, why am I thinking like Invisible Woman? Is my character have one of them broken defensive ults?
A health regen type ultimate?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that was good. I think I'm cooked.
Is my character ranged?
Yeah. Are they blonde?
Is my character a strategist?
No. Is my character Invis? Just take it out.
Psylocke?
No. Oh, and then
Double your win rate in Valorant using this one stim trick.
Yeah, don't be like that guy. When you peek an angle, your movement input is sent to the server, which takes time to get there. This is how peeker's advantage works. Let's say you're peeking an angle and your opponent here is holding it like their DoorDasher just arrived. Once your movement is sent to the server, it then has to be sent to your opponent's client, which takes even more time. Meaning you experience your own movement instantly while Mr. AFK over here has to wait on the information from the server. This means that you get to see them before they get to see you. The amount of time your advantage lasts is equal to half of your ping plus half of your opponent's ping, since ping measures a round trip from client to server. So here you get to see Mr. No Time to Cook 48 milliseconds early. Your reaction time is only about 200 milliseconds, so this is a fantastic advantage to have in your back. So how do you use it? When you know somebody is likely around the corner, go ahead and prep your brain and then move into the angle with speed. If you move slowly, they're gonna see your shoulder way before your head, nullifying the advantage. And if you know somebody is gonna peek you, just counter peek them instead and cancel out the effect. Which is how you...
He's going to be blind ranking 6 Marvel Rivals characters. First one, Thor.
He's okay. He's okay. He's good. He's really good with Storm. So I'll put him C. I'll put him C. Okay, yeah, Venom's better.
Our next one, Iron Man.
He's like really good with Hulk team up. But if you don't have Hulk team up, he's really bad. I'm gonna rank him alone. I think he's like D tier. I don't like playing him. Storm's better, but.
Speaking of Hulk.
All right. Really good team up. Hulk Strange is like so good. I think A. I'm gonna save my S. I think I have some really good.
Our next character, Storm.
All right, that's like insane. She just farms ult so fast. I have to put her S. She's like banned in all my games. Everyone wants to ban her. She's so good. She farms ult so fast. She's so good.
Another interesting character next, we got Strange.
You're giving me so much gas. I would put him A and Hulk B. The Strange is so good. He's amazing. He had good shield, good team up, good damage, everything. Everything's good.
Final character, we got Luna Snow.
All right. Rose gave me like all the S tier characters. What is this? I guess I have to put her E. She's like, dude, she's S tier, but like, it is what it is, man.
Okay.
It is what it is.
If you were to re-rank these,
absolute cinema. That's it.
I mean, it's a respectable tier list, but put in the comments what you think about that.
Who can guess their Marvel character first? Is it a woman?
No. Is my character a tank?
No. Is your character a tank?
No. Is my character a support?
Yeah. Is my character a DPS?
Yes. Is my character a human?
Not human. Is my character human?
Yes. Is my character an animal?
No. Is my character an animal?
No. Is my character Mantis?
Nope. Is my character moon related?
No.
Ah.
Is my character Loki?
No. Does my character have armor?
No, I don't think so. Okay, is my character Adam Warlock?
Yes. Is my character Namor?
Nope.
Fantastic, ain't it?
All right.
We're gonna guess the Marvel Rivals character. Can you? Is it a support?
Do they use animals in their kit?
Do they have any stars?
Can they traverse on the walls?
Is it Spider-Man?
Are they a melee character?
Penny.
Okay, I give up. I give up.
I guess Penny's also not a melee character.
Is it Iron Fist?
I'm gonna have this Apex player rank 5 blind characters. Mirage.
Mirage 5, because it's no skill.
Okay.
You run up to someone and just Mirage ult, and there's just a bunch of Mirages everywhere.
Okay.
No skill.
Anger some Mirage players out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
very personal.
Watson.
I'll put Watson at 3. She's not very fun, but she's definitely crucial in close range building situations.
Revenant.
Ooh. I will put Revenant at number 1. With his rework,
Pathfinder.
this will probably upset some people, but I'm putting Path at 4.
At 4.
Pathfinder mains are cringe, man.
Interesting.
They're cringe. They just grapple away, and I don't like it.
If you're a Pathfinder main, you should get in the comments.
Definitely.
And also subscribe. And then finally, we're gonna do Bangalore.
Bangalore. You know what? I think 2 is actually a good spot for Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Pretty solid all-around character.
Does your character have a light hair color?
I don't know.
I would consider that as a no.
Okay.
Is your character a Valorant agent?
No. I'm not cooking anything right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna say use an element.
No, don't use an element. Does your character have a non-traditional hair color?
No. Is your character female?
Yes.
Okay. I think I might know.
Does your character have any blue in the picture?
Yes.
Is there it?
Is your character Fade?
No.
I thought I was him. I am not him.
Is your character a male?
No. Raise.
No.
Okay, I might cry. I'm going.
All right. Does your character look like they probably sitting in school reading books?
I don't think so.
They don't look studious?
They don't look studious. Is your character old?
No. Is that Anna?
No. I think you might be cooked. I think you might be a little cooked. Daisy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the one I was gonna put down.
Wait, so is your character Zero Suit Samurai?
Yep. Wait, did we tie again?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just picked an Overwatch character, and you have 5 guesses to figure out who it is.
Oh, roles first. Is it DPS?
It is not.
Is it a support?
It is a support.
Okay. Support. Is it a female?
It is not a female.
Not a female. That's
Only
3
2 questions.
Okay, Lucio, Baptiste, Zenyatta.
2 questions.
Do they have some kind of...
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thursday Night Lights, week number 4. I'm still Sepulence, joined by Hell Monkey Man. We're going to be jumping into Marvel Rivals in just a couple of minutes, but before we do that, a couple of things we got to get out of the way.
Yeah. We've got some STEM, and it's not even getting out of the way. It's getting back into
some things we
into
should
your
acknowledge.
face. Yes, we need to be able to see it. In fact, we want to see the standings from our drone rivalries. Let's make sure that it comes up into your faces. In case you did not see what happened before, well, there were some sinking of some ships. It was actually a very close one between Olympic High and Cedar Ridge. I believe that one went 2-1, and the Trojans were able to find themselves into that seeding placement. But over Esports Legends and Philip Berry, another very close game. It went 3-2 to the very final round. The Cardinals will get their way there, and that's actually very important. All 4 of those schools, Cedar Ridge, Olympic, Esports Legends, and Philip Berry, will be at the state championships for STEM, for the drone strikes and all in 2 months. But Philip Berry and Olympic have secured themselves top seeding, and that's going to be huge considering all the live events that will be going on there.
Absolutely, a lot of live events going on head-to-head and toe-to-toe. A lot of good performances from our teams in the drone rivalries. We have a couple of other leaderboards to look at as well, as a couple of things have shifted on them since we showed them to you last. Our data analytics VESL STEM leaderboard is going to be tops Venom at 232.79, and Los Strelis, who I believe was in first place last week, at 227.46, so a bit of a shift there in our top 3.
That is massive. Also, remember, these are live leaderboards so that you can also still join in and outpace and beat your opponents anytime throughout the season to qualify for state. So you have a chance to be able to do so. Those top 3, though, tops Venom by about, 5.5 points or so, just in front of Los Strelis. So we get to see that one. Also, as we go throughout all of these, this has been such a very compelling data analytics matchup. But let's check out the content creation side, as Idyllic from Ardry Kell, the Knights in content creation, is currently sitting in first, and also by a very narrow margin. They were able to learn how to create strong documentaries by crafting their very own scripts and voiceovers. It's kind of like what you and I like to do whenever we're, just making up videos we like.
Oh yeah, I'm biased. This one's 100% my favorite that we have here at VESL, and I think a lot of that just comes from, as you mentioned, this is what you and I do pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So this is super exciting. It's awesome to see high schoolers have opportunities like this, because I didn't have opportunities like this when I was in high school, and however many mysterious years ago that may be. That's not important. Anyway, it's really cool that they have these opportunities, and I'm glad that VESL works so hard to create not only a place that we can game and play what we love, but also work on things like this. The cybersecurity leaderboard, we've seen a lot of ties here. I believe it was back last week that we had a 10-way tie, but now the scores have broken up a little bit more. We see some tie-ups in the middle there. 7380.1 puts you in third place over 4 other people. That's amazing.
That is huge, actually. And you know what? These for this particular leaderboard, they were actually unleashing their inner cyber detectives by hunting down and defending against vulnerabilities. Believe it or not, gang. So I work in this industry, cybersecurity, and we have to have an annual training where you do exactly that. I wonder how similar it was. You can do it in any kind of walk of life, in any field, but they also make sure to keep you crafty and keep you looking for all those things that could infect your system. So top 2 right now held by both Bioki as well as Lion. So congrats to everyone. And the tiebreaker rankings were determined by attempts and errors and timing. So that's why Bioki holds the narrowest margin above Lion.
Because that very mild error goes a long way, and there's a really good opportunity to strike through that. So it's going to be successful for Bioki to just barely be in the lead, and Vodiak to be 0.1 above the rest of their competitors. So those little errors, they go a really, really long way.
Yeah, and also there's new pathway challenges that have been unlocked, so make sure to go to the challenges page on the not work. The top submissions for the weeks will be featured challenges which receive gold, and of course you can use those in the coin shop to be able to get a bunch of cool goodies. And as they add new stuff every single week, make sure if you don't see what you want, you can reach out to the staff and you can let them know that you're looking for something and more. And of course you can go out to your STEM mentors that are in the Discord to be able to figure all that out as well. And there's new mini challenges that will drop tomorrow, so make sure you check those out, as these will take just a couple minutes to be able to get done. So as long as you're in the VGC Discord, you should be able to see everything. So but I think, wait, hold on, can you hear that? I think there's something actually coming up. Wait, what is that, Substance?
That's right, folks. It's a little car. It's a robotic car, even. I've heard some people are saying. Very exciting. I hinted at it very briefly way back when we announced the location of states. I'm not sure if anybody caught it, but we did talk about them just for a hair at that scratch of time. And now robotic cars coming into VESL, into the coding program, into your hands, essentially, or at least your virtual hands, as you code these and make some magic happen with them. The Robo Cars rivalries coming out. We start at the top of that bracket once again. We see a lot of familiar schools, and excitedly enough, a couple of new ones as well.
Yeah, this is going to be, we got, I'm not even going to have time to be able to see all of them, but definitely this is a big bracket. Make sure you get into cars. I am a huge fan of robotics in a general sense. Robot Wars, Battle Bots, but seeing that you got cars now, look, it already looked like a little spider, so that makes me like, it's gonna be so cute. Either way, as I anthropomorphize all of my love for robotics onto you guys, we will be going into our next matchups here for Marvel Rivals in just a moment. So, kicking off our final esports section of the night. This is gonna be a heck of a way, but is it before? Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I've gone too far. We have another giveaway! All right, let's get this one going.
Yes, another giveaway. Let's see who our winner is.
Aj Lacoste.
Congratulations, Aj Lacoste.
You did it.
One of our winners of the night. Congratulations. A big win on the board for you, and another win just around the corner for one of our teams coming up next. Now, Monkey Man, who are we getting the opportunity to see here in Marvel Rivals?
All right, let's get right back to it. You've seen a lot of them tonight in different facets, but this time it's going to be in Marvel Rivals with Philip O'Barry, the Cardinals. They'll be facing off against Seek Green, the red squad versus the green squad. It feels like Christmas, as the engineers will try to be able to bring their best into it. And I need to know, how has the overall progress been with some Marvel Rivals? I wasn't here last week. Tell me about it from then to now.
Just so we've seen a lot of fascinating play styles. And I think interesting, I was going to bring this up in Valorant earlier, and then we got distracted by the drone battle, is at the scholastic level, you see a lot of different meta play styles and a lot of changes that you don't typically see at the collegiate level, let alone the pro level. Now, in Marvel Rivals, these students have been gifted a really unique opportunity of playing a game upon its release, essentially. Yeah. So there's not that same energy of, we don't have a pro scene to copy. We don't even really have a collegiate scene to copy yet. So these scholastic players are coming in and playing a game competitively, being one of the only competitive fields in the country or the world for this game right now. So there is a way that these students are setting the metas, and right now I think a lot of the meta that we're seeing is just Thor over and over and over and over and over again. And I think that is so boring, but I get it. I would play boring characters to win too. I used to. I played Overwatch in college when it was goats, so I understand that better than anyone. I fear that I will play anything to win, and I get that these students have the very similar mindset, but unfortunately for us, the viewer, we might get a lot of repetition here tonight, but that's also why I love the ban system that we see so consistently from these teams and the adaptations they tend to bring to the table. So hopefully we see a Thor ban, but I think that's just a little bit of my own bias.
And we've also seen, in combination alongside that with the Vanguard, we've seen a lot of Groot. I feel like they just want to be able to establish some kind of level of control. You get a lot of kind of CC so for some of these. We also see Doctor Strange. The Agamotto just has definitely formed a stun. I mean, hearken it to some League of Legends. Whenever you get a Mumu, if you could be able to get a chance to dive deep into enemy territory and getting a stun, it gives such an awesome chance for your team to get some eliminations. And that's what you got to do, especially with so many of these OBJ based pushes, either with it being domination or just off of the cart. So I get it, I understand. I mean, but also it's not like we've seen too much difference when it comes to the strategists, because Cloak and Dagger, unless How much of that was there? Was there a shift away? It's still
Last
Invisible
week,
Woman?
Last week, I feel like it was Cloak and Dagger and Mantis with Invisible Woman kind of spiced in there a little bit. Cloak and Dagger, definitely a very consistent character brought to the table. And I actually, not to pivot the conversation too aggressively, but I just noticed something in the lobby that I want to bring up before we have the opportunity to jump in. So we see a couple of silver players in the lobby. Now, that's about 20% of the player base is silver players. We see a lot of gold. This seems to be a pretty gold-heavy lobby. That's about 16% of the player base. We do see some diamond and platinum. Platinum is 10%, diamond is 4%. But Hell Monkey Man, for the first time in VESL on-stream history, we have a player in this lobby who is the rank referred to as Eternity. Now, for those that don't know, this is the second highest rank in the game. This is the highest you can be before being considered one of the best players in the country of your specific region. 0.04% of players are the Eternity rank.
Wow.
So this is going to be really fascinating to watch one Eternity player in a lobby that tends to be a bit more of an average rank across the board. So it's going to be Black Diamond, I think is how that's said. Black Demon, one of the Black Demon D, perhaps? I don't know. Black Demon, Black Diamond, whatever it may be. They are the Eternity player coming into this matchup. They were playing on the side of Seek. So it is Demon D. I just got confirmation. Thank you so much. So they're going to be the Eternity player coming into this. And I think we should just spend a lot of time watching them because their play style is going to absolutely dictate the speed and the aggression of the rest of this matchup.
And it's not to at all take away from the fact that we do have two Grandmasters that are out here. I remember watching Reaver's Reaper. They are a big Valorant player. They definitely have been on big 5v5s before. So those two may actually control the overall pace of this game. But I mean, you got Loco Way with Black Demon D as well as Local. That could, by the way, we have Loco and Local. That is gonna trip me up at least like a tiny bit.
Toxic.
Yeah,
actually toxic.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a little rough. We do have a couple platinums to be able to kind of outweigh the fact that there is a silver player. So this, as much as Eternity is one of those big ranks. In fact, what is the top rank? Is it just a number after that?
Yeah, it's one above all is what it's called, and it's 0.01% of players. I believe it's essentially the Marvel Rivals version of top 500. Is like the absolute best players in each region. It's referred to as one above all. I have actually, not to brag, one of my friends is this rank. That's the only reason I even know about it is because that he got it. I'm not really. I think I'm plat, maybe. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've played. But regardless, I mean, it is a very difficult rank to achieve, let alone Eternity, let alone being a high schooler and already being the second highest rank in the entire game. But only 0.04% of players in the country are. So a big congratulations to Black Demons for that performance already. I'm excited to see how they're going to be able to perform against a rather more traditionally ranked lobby. This is going to feel, I think, very much like that YouTube video that's like 1 Grandmaster versus 5 silver, right? It's going to be a lot of how he plays or a lot of how they play on how well the team's going to do today.
I mean, we are also seeing, let's see, who is on what? Oh my goodness, so Black Demon is on the Thor. So if you're ever gonna see if you're like, oh, I'm gonna finally see something different. It's gonna be hype, it's gonna be new, it's gonna be
Maybe that's why their rank is so high. Maybe that's why their rank is so high, because they're playing Thor all the time. I hate this guy, not Black Demon's Thor. I have no beef with the player, it's just the character. I can't stand them. But I mean, I'm excited though. The band's coming through. I think we're really fascinating choices to be made on both sides. The Thing is still available. Hulk is still available. I think it's a really
Actually, well, now I'm kind of really confused because they've also traded over the skin. But you know what? I just haven't seen the skin before, so maybe that's just me. I haven't gone deep into any kind of buys. So either way, we'll be starting this one off in combination. You do, in fact, get a Hulk alongside of Thor. I think that's the slightest change away from what we saw with a lot of kind of group play. But you also have the Thing for Reaver's Reaper, and that's going to be telling, considering that is the highest on the side of the Cardinals.
The point is already going to be uncapped. I love the Thing. He's one of my favorite comic characters of all time. Ben Grimm is super exciting to watch be played here by a player that we know is quite talented as well, by that Reaver Reaper all the same. So first point going to be opened in favor of Philip O'Gary, who find themselves already stacking up some aggressive percentage.
Reaver's Reaper trying to just get some early ticks if they can. This is domination, so you gotta be able to own that side. So they kind of push him away. Wasn't any really big team picks, just kind of waiting it out. We didn't even speak to the strategist, but you do also have the Luna Snow that's gonna be able to provide so much extra healing, especially alongside some mitigation from, I guess, from your Cloak and Dagger. But they're going immediately back into his Black Demon, is trying to find a way to get his team involved.
already going to be on the Magneto here. It's going to be an elimination. Moon Knight, the character that I love to play on the side of Charlotte, able to get that first elimination against Philip O'Berry, but looks like there's going to be a bit of a self-return all the same. One by one, Philip O'Berry is going to begin to fall, as really we see Black Demons just cleaning things up early here. Able to find an aggressive play style. They lose the point initially, but with a really strong Magneto play out the gate, they're able to turn things around.
Yeah, also, I was calling it all wrong earlier. So they are showing you some Magneto, so they don't exactly have the combination to have that kind of team up, but it is a little bit of mitigation. Either way, it is going to be early control. They do get rid of Black Demon. That is the only player that was left. You do have 4 ultimates are already online right now for the Cardinals. So, as you have also that, it feels like there's just kind of this slow ebb and flow. We really haven't seen it be too just errant. They've been picking the way that they want to go into these team fights, but they're starting to ramp it up right now.
The ramp up comes through. Reaper able to find an elimination early on. I'm expecting a couple of ultimates in this fight. You've got so many in the pocket of Philip O'Berry all the same, but 2 players already down from Charlotte. Do you want to use those ultimates if you don't have to? It looks like we're going to see a 1-1 trade out the gate, and it's just Black Demons who is continuously finding these eliminations. The ultimate comes out. It still picks up 1. They give their teammate for the trade, and Seek has begun to take the lead.
Yeah, and as soon as you get that meteor, just better be ready to watch out, but they're going to get cleaned up with the rest of them. So, again, this is domination is as even as it could get. Seek engineers are able to at least get themselves in the lead for a moment, but not before the Cardinal comes flying right back in. And same to be said here with Reaper's Reaper here on the thing. It just feels constantly cock and load that big forearm back, get some big punches in. They're going to try and run them down and get some stuns.
The Thing's ultimate, one of my favorites in the game as well. Now, is that just a character bias? 100%. But I do enjoy it regardless. And Philip O'Berry doing a really good job keeping their ultimates available. You know, when you see a player that's such a high rank in the lobby, you really expect them to be able to dominate and not keep it this close. But domination, also such a consistent back and forth that one player can only do so much. And already, he's trying to do as much as he can. One player eliminated. Star-Lord missing. The door's been open for Seek. Can they walk through it?
Ret to Dummy holding on to sight while everyone else is just kind of walking off. You also do have the Soul Bond that is here right now. This team up combination between this Adam Warlock as well as the Mantis gives you that extra revive if you can, but the Luna Snow ultimate now is going to give them a damage boost, and they're trying to be able to bounce it back and forth between what they can heal. That one gets used up. The Seek Engineers aiming to control sight. They do so right at the 1% flip. Philip O'Berry was inches away from making it happen, but now they're going to have extra time. Seek is trying to find their way all the way to that respawn and force the stagger.
The staggers here can be really detrimental at a time like this, especially when nobody's going to be able to stabilize early on. My own Requiem playing a character that I enjoy to watch be played, but one that I personally never really been able to work myself. Another Magneto ult from Black Demon is not going to be able to find much. It does stall out a bit. Should allow the opportunity to get close to a 99-99. Now, winning with the ultimates you have, though, that's going to be the tough part. Every team wants to win without using the ultimates if they can help it, but if you have to use them, you have to use them. And wow, there we go. Early 3 eliminations in favor of Philip O'Berry. The Moon Knight ult comes out to find 2 of his own. It's every ultimate under the sun. Every team desperate to try and stay alive. And Mock Dinosaur, the last player left standing for Seek. They're going to have to try and stall for as long as they can, but they are disintegrated before our very eyes, and Philip O'Berry should win the first stage of domination.
This one eventually will close the gap. They are unable to get that Winter Soldier all the way back to sight. He ends up not finishing this one out, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you do carry over your ultimates between rounds, so maybe they just thought that the Kraken Impact would be better as an opener to establish early sight control as we go to site number 2 with Eldritch Monument.
So there's definitely something fascinating because in Overwatch, which is the most similar to this play style especially, your ultimate doesn't carry over into the next round.
Yeah.
So it adds this new layer of will they, won't they, of do you want to use your ultimate to guarantee you win that first domination point, or do you want to hold on to that ultimate moving into the second matchup and, like you said, have a stronger opener than a closer? And I think my own Requiem holding on to that Winter Soldier ultimate makes a lot of sense because you can team wipe with it if it's used appropriately in tandem with something like a Moon Knight Onk, or something like a Hulk Dive, or something of that nature. So I think it makes sense to keep that on early. The Star-Lord ultimate, though, it's kind of the type of like a pulse bomb in Overwatch. You just want to use it when you have it. You want to try to get that value early if you're able. But, you know, it's patience is a virtue, and perhaps it ends better in their favor than I'm anticipating.
Yeah, we'll get to see if that ends up being kind of any level of impact, because it may just be like, all right, you have it, but it really doesn't do much. Also, this is also one of the few times that I've actually seen some Namor play, and it ended up being pretty effective.
I love Namor.
It ended up being pretty effective overall, so we'll get to see if that continues to happen. Philip O'Berry has not changed out, except for maybe one. They get the Reaper's Reaper, they walk away from the thing, and they go over to Captain America, and I'm a big fan of Captain America. I think he's such a bully. He's also, if you play him right, he's so difficult to be able to take down no matter what. That shield just gives him such a great space to work with.
Here we go. The Star-Lord ultimate going to be making an appearance early and already able to find a double kill. So they're going to be using it for the exact reason we predicted this. The Winter Soldier ultimate had been held on to. That's to open the gate, give your team an opportunity to strike and Philip Berry. They look for a lot of damage out the gate. They're going to be able to find some value. 3 eliminations. They get the point cap. And last time they capped first, well, they were able to win that domination map. Will that tale continue to tell true? One way to find out.
They saw that Kraken impact, but that definitely that Galactic Legend out of that Star-Lord play. It's just an easy opener. You're able to get immediate side control because everyone is running. You have auto aim and you're just running people down. So really, it does boil down to how does Requiem utilize this? They've had it burning in their back pocket, and that looks how they're trying to actually find an off angle, a flank to be able to work with. Their position's a little bit given away because Black Demon is trying to kind of give them an open lane to find a chance to get over to site. And away they go. They try to find these opening plays, but they are immediately pushed back.
The pushback is aggressive early on. All 12 players still standing for the time being. Nobody going to be falling quite yet, but eventually that bully you talked about earlier finds that first elimination, taking down his own protege nonetheless. Absolutely toxic within the canon of the world itself. Philip Berry, they're going to be able to find 50% on the board now. Not even an ultimate to be used in this fight yet, but here we go. One comes out early, looks for even a single kill, makes the difference. They don't even need it. Beautiful shot after shot. It looks like Philip Berry, I mean, unless Charlotte can really turn this around, I think Philip Berry has this in the bag.
Starting to feel like maybe, you know, that attorney rank was about all we're going to be see, at least in this opening one. You have one more team fight coming through here for Seek if they want to send this to a third site for our Domination Central. Remember, we will be flipping over, I believe, over to Convergence whenever we go to our second play of the game. You do have that Luna Snow ultimate that should be able to give them some extra healing if they want to fight around this. Requiem still has that Kraken Impact, and the Ankh will be online as well from this Moon Knight, but it's get in, get out. Philip Berry not overextending.
Yeah, so this is going to sound like cope no matter how I say it. I do think Philip Berry has this in the bag, but are you familiar with the idea of a chess grandmaster actually struggles more against a new player than they do somebody of experience? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
so there's something that you see in Overwatch where in a control map like this, or a domination map as it's referred to here, it's actually statistically more likely for the lower ranked team to be able to win, because of the spontaneity, because of the chaos you see in a map type like this. And I'm curious if that does transfer over to Marvel Rivals as well. Is that going to be in Philip Berry's benefit, or are they really just leading the charge this aggressively? They're able to find the domination this handedly, and there it is. That legendary Star-Lord ultimate comes out again to pretty much seal the deal. Philip Berry, they have the numbers advantage. A Luna Snow ultimate comes out very late. It'll buy a little bit of time, but I think the damage may have already been done.
It has been, but they've also been able to get sight, so they have that 18% and is now climbing. They did use that one, and they've really been keeping everything else behind scenes. So if they can continue to stagger this, they might have a chance to at least burn some extra of this clock, work their way forward. They do have the Hulk Smash and World Breaker available for them. So just holding overall side control. It is a mount thrown hands, and now you get that one busted open. They're aiming for some, just pushing people away and clapping with the big green mitts.
Double kill in favor of Charlotte. We actually see Black Demon switching to Spider-Man. So now part of me is wondering if maybe they're not a Vanguard player to begin with, and they're trying to maybe bring that out a little bit too late, though. We see the numbers just dominoing in favor of Philip Berry. They're going to be able to find a second victory here on Domination and put themselves within a one-map victory, being able to win this series here tonight. They're going to win Domination here 2-0 over Charlotte.
So, well, I've seen 1-3-2s, I've seen single Vanguards, I've seen 2-2-2s. Maybe they definitely want to find themselves over to a comfort position, and maybe they're much more a duelist. Either way, we'll get to find out what that is and more, and if the team is going to have a separate conversation. They may have also felt that they just needed someone that could be able to make up ground very quickly to get back to that point of territory control, and that it just wasn't going to happen if you're the slow floating Magneto with your tiny little boots. So that's going to be the first one. Domination goes 2-0 the way of the Cardinals as they set themselves up match point before we go Convergence.
And I know nobody asked my opinion on this, but I'm going to share it anyway. I think Magneto is one of the coolest and most well-written characters of any version of anything of all time. I think he is one of the greatest comic book characters. I think he's one of the greatest, most well-written supervillains of all time, and I'm a big Magneto fan through and through. Just, hey, if you're going to make me cast a game about superheroes that I've loved my entire life, well, you're going to have to listen to my superhero opinions, and that's going to be the deal we make here, one way or another. But coming into this, Hell Monkey Man, I think that definitely doesn't go the way we expect, seeing the ranks that we saw going into that matchup. But coming out of it, we see a pretty aggressive domination against Charlotte, and I'm wondering if going into the next map type, what changes in team composition we're going to be seeing.
We'll convert Divergence is going to be that hybrid composition. So if you go to site, then you have to be able to push that cart. Okay, but you know what? You've I have a measure that I have to be able to bring with you. What if that is your most well-written character? I want to hate, watch, and listen with you. Who's the worst written? Who do you absolutely despise? Who is the try-hard edgelord that you just cannot get behind?
You're gonna get me in trouble. You're gonna get me in trouble. If we're keeping it within Marvel, and I'll even try to keep it in the roster right now.
Okay.
I think. Oh wow! I'm gonna get. People are gonna be so mad at me. People are gonna be so mad at me. People are gonna be so mad at me. I think the current state of my boy Venom is probably some of the worst Venom writing I have seen in a while.
Okay.
Now, I don't think it's terrible, awful. If you asked me to name a character that I thought was worse from, I don't know, a similar but competing comic book franchise, I could think of a couple before I would say Venom.
Right.
But I do think that Venom came out so unbelievably strong. You give him Kilthar, the symbiote planet. You give him the symbiote backstory. You give him the symbiote siblings and rivals. And then he just becomes Spider-Man from space. And it's like, we've really dropped the ball here on what we were initially doing. Like, there is this beautiful, again, I'm going to make it about the Thing, and you're going to have to forgive me, but that's my boy. There's this beautiful comic book series where the symbiote Venom basically makes a deal with Ben Grimm and says, if you let me latch onto your body, I can turn you back into being a human, which is the Thing's whole thing, no pun intended, is he's stuck looking like that. And that's one of his biggest weaknesses, is his own mental fortitude of not being able to look like a person. Venom goes onto the Thing. Of course, they live a beautiful, happy life, but then the Lizard comes and he steals it off the Thing. It's this beautiful comic. If you want to know what happens at the end, read it. That's not what we're here to talk about. I could talk forever. But it's just, Venom had a great opportunity to be one of the greatest villains of all time, and then unfortunately has the wind ripped out of his sails pretty early on, and has a lot of growing to do, I think.
You know what? I do agree to a degree. I watched the old animated series when it came to Spider-Man, and I felt like it just was trying to pigeonhole an equal but opposite version of Spider-Man into his world, and I was like, what's going on? This is actually so much more compelling for Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. Like, that made so much more sense. That was actually one of my favorite overall storylines. Why Spider-Man stuck with me as like one of my favorite superheroes throughout the entirety of my young age. Oh, okay, all right. Glad that I wasn't crazy when I was 10 years old and going, this is meh. This isn't it. This is weird. But also, we're going into our next lobby here in just a moment. Everyone is slowly joining. I think we have about 4 out of 6.
We have a substitution as well.
Yeah, I think it was it Requiem that actually is being moved around? I think that's... No, Requiem was on Seek. No, who were they on? They're on Seek, right? No.
There we go. I believe we're going to be seeing Josh come in for the side of POB, for the side of Filippo Berry. So I think Josh making an appearance. A Platinum 3 player was not in the Domination matchup, but is going to be here on Clintar, which I actually just talked to. Oh my gosh! I didn't even realize I don't even know that's the map we're playing. I might be getting too excited, but I did literally just talk about that. So very happy to see it here into the matchup. Going head to head, though, these players find themselves in a very unique scenario, because I think there was a decent domination there on the side of one Magneto versus another. And now you've got to wonder, if my Magneto is not working as well as his, do I just ban him? Do I just take Magneto out of the way here?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's very true, because you saw, all right, they've shown that. But is there a competency to maybe bringing something of a flex that isn't directly just, all right, I mitigate, I bring damage, what else can I do? Do you see kind of off-kilter plays, maybe bringing in a Doctor Strange? Do you just kind of go blunt force?
Never a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, actually, in case you guys missed out on some of that VESL content video just a moment ago, there's a reason why you're losing frames. It is because when he tries to be able to create those portals, it is absolutely warping you at like 3 times the amount that your graphics card wants to be able to render. So maybe you can defeat these kids via just cooking their GPUs. I don't know. That's a way.
Listen, I don't think anything in the rulebook says you can't do that. I'm not going to say you should, but I don't think we've evolved enough yet to realize that might be a problem in the future. Regardless, I do think those portals are one of the most fascinating kind of game mechanics that we've seen in a really long time. And I think it does lend itself to Doctor Strange's viability, because you can use it to approach a site slightly faster than you would if you ran there on foot. The portal moves about a person walking speed typically, but all things considered, Doctor Strange making an appearance would not be particularly surprising to me. And as these players kind of, not going to lie, take their decent time to get into lobby, hopefully they're discussing strategies and concepts they'd like to bring to the forefront here, because if Filippo Berry wins this one, we're wrapping things up nice and early.
Yeah, also there's the possibility that it is 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Maybe they were also getting a cheese sandwich. Who knows?
True.
Yeah.
Just about dinner time.
Yeah. So making sure that You guys stick with us here for some good old dinner time as we go into our could-be final map of the evening as well here for our VESL Thursday Night Lights. This spring session has been really good. It's been 4 weeks of this so far. Septilence, I believe you deserve a lot of praise because you have been with me and Time to Light flip-flopping every single week. You're staying consistent with it, and that's exactly what we want to see. We will, in fact, go to a place that maybe you're not most beloved. We're going to Clintar, Symbiotic Surface here for Convergence.
Love the place narratively, love the place canonically. Don't really love the map, to be honest. I think this is a really tough map to play. It's either one of two things happens. You see this on a lot of maps of this type. It's not particularly Clintar's fault, but you see a lot of either both teams cap all three and we go into extra rounds, or nobody caps it all. And it does tend to be kind of that middle ground back and forth. So I want to see what these bans end up being, if they're going to be the same or not.
Are they going to get rid of Star-Lord?
Dude, maybe. That's a good question.
Yeah, because they're already picking Adam Warlock, and I understand that because they actually had that alongside Mantis, which was a really good combination play. So, you know, get rid of your Strategist, and then maybe you don't need to really worry about Star-Lord, but he was so effective. Wolverine out the gate. Okay, all right. That one seems to be kind of stock standard, but I don't know. No one really played Wolverine, so you're not really attacking any more of their roster.
There's got to be like a popular streamer out there or something that these kids are watching that bans Wolverine every time, because even in series where nobody wants to play Wolverine, we're still seeing these VESL players ban him. So it's definitely either some kind of instinct or some kind of just like, what's it called, like muscle memory of banning him as consistently as you can. But in the true regard of it all, I do think we're seeing Wolverine bans a little more often than we have to. I think it's perhaps, like I said, a bit of comfortability of, just ban Wolverine.
Okay. So they decided to get rid of Doctor Strange. So if we do, in fact, get Black Demon back over to Magneto.
That's their protect, isn't there? No, am I wrong?
Oh, is it their protect? Oh, they get to keep them.
So.
So,
yes, I think
we actually might see that depending on if they get rid of their Magneto. That may be the play.
I might be mixing up my games that have ban options, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
No, that is
because they're going to ban Hela as their next one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now, looks like that Capsu is going to be flexing at least over towards the Groot. So. Will we get that alongside the Penny Parker? Where do they ultimately want to get rid of one more? If this is from the Filippo Berry side, who really did the most damage? Who do you want to be able to get rid of? Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, that's big. That's the only playmaking strategist that they had to begin with. And with her off the field, that is a decision here for Witch.
Not only is it just a big play, it's a clever one, because I was not expecting them to go after the strategist of all things to ban. So they take Luna Snow out of the equation. You're going to have to force somebody onto a character they may be slightly less comfortable on, and I'm curious how much that's really going to impact both teams.
Yeah, so we'll be going into this as well, as I believe that so Requiem will be shifting away from the Winter Soldier. They're going to be on the Punisher. I think did we have dual Punishers at one point? No. So we go right back to this game, as well as seeing the Star-Lord come back out. You got Invisible Woman and La Rocket Raccoon. Feel that here on Symbiotic Surface?
Rocket's pretty strong, all things considered. A friend of mine plays Rocket. They're really fond of his resurrection abilities, of course, and then his damage boosting, especially when you're on the offense. It lends itself really well to getting through a strong defense. Now, of course, when there's a Rocket on both sides, you run into the problem that any game with ultimates does is, I'll just use mine when they do. And then you effectively cancel each other out. So Rocket may not be as valuable as we're expecting him to be in this matchup unless one of them swaps.
Already setting out some of that early webbing as well to have to just kind of take over this field. And I feel like that's a very smart play to go into Penny Parker. Definitely going to have a lot of CC, but we do get the Doctor Strange. So, all right, you and I were asking about
it. Point. Yep.
Oh, my goodness. He's going to go right back behind him. Oh, he's going to go to window.
Ooh,
very smart play.
Smart.
Oh, but they see it.
They know. They know.
They absolutely know.
They're going to go for a full team dive, shield up, team into the backline. Positioning is already great. Now the problem, you've got to make sure none of you get eliminated. And with the high ground advantage, it's going to be a little bit harder to get eliminated. So hopefully they're able to play well. Now I'm not sure why we're dropping, to be honest. I think that's an incredibly bold play to make, but they do rotate back up on the high ground. 30 seconds already gone. My goodness, the timer in this game is so fast, and there it is. Moon Knight has fallen. Going to be able to be brought back to life by Local just in time to get stunned back in the fray. Jeff the Shark is now down. It's going to be a 6v5 here. Doctor Strange is caught out of position. He's almost assuredly going to be going down, barely, with the skin of his teeth able to stay alive. And not a single elimination. The pull is in Beautiful from that invisible woman, and it looks like it's going to be one player missing already for Charlotte.
Yeah, Requiem will fall out, so they're not able to keep building and putting all that extra pressure there for their Punishers. So as you have all this healing, strategists are just literally trying to live up on this upper ring. You got Loco trying to run away as they have at least so much pressure here on this defense by the Cardinals of Filippo Berry. 2 big picks. Black Demon, as soon as they fell out, the rest of the team was quick to follow.
Without a doubt. I mean, when your power player goes missing, it's a little bit harder to find some good success. I also love this skin. Nobody asked, but I'm going to say it anyway. Beautiful skin. One of my favorites in the game. I mean, this Bucky ultimate already online. I mean, just 90 seconds off the clock here. It does feel like Charlotte could end up getting full health. They've got a couple of ults to work with. The Moon Knight ultimate could be beneficial, but all things considered, it needs to be huge. And it's a pretty easy one to just walk out of.
Reverse Reaper is also taking a roll difference. Oh my goodness, Black Demon is kind of stuck in the corner. It looks like it's a big enough gap, but he's too thick. He's too big. And now he's had to trade away, and he's getting absolutely slammed in the corner. That is exactly the power of Groot.
Don't bring the ability to manipulate metal to a wood fight. I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, just a beautiful opportunity. The wall up there from Groot closes you out of the equation. You see a couple of ultimates making an appearance. That damage booster from Local on the side of Charlotte could be big, but check out this Groot ult. My goodness! I mean, he's just out here cranking 90s. He's playing Fortnite right now. And it's Filippo Berry Capstew who's just cleaning house on this Groot. A beautiful performance. Here's going to be that Magneto Meteor. The wall up. Oh, it goes up and over, but everybody still lives. Beautiful. I mean, Capstew, just the powerhouse, the linchpin of this team's success right now.
Capstew is throwing hands with Eternity, and Eternity doesn't know what to do with it. That Strangling Prison was absolutely choking out this would-be attack, and we're already down to a minute 15 to go. A Penta for Reverse Reaper. He's looking for one more if he can. That's a 6. That could be forthcoming if they can be able to clear out all of Black Demon, but instead they will live by the time they all reconvene. You've got a minute coming up if these guys want to be able to get to site.
Oh, and the ultimate from Reverse Reaper in the pocket here. Look at these headshots. My goodness, the critical hit accuracy has to be so high.
Lincoln from distance. You're gonna save that Kraken for later. They're gonna be able to push him away. My goodness, he's diving. Oh, there goes Jeff. It is carnage. Here's Kraken Impact, and they will force it out again. You can't quite go after that. The Dart to Strange is way too much damage, and eventually they're cleared out by the Rockets. So they get rid of the first, and there's still some life here. 3 ultimates online, but they've got to work fast.
Yeah, but it could be spider time in just a minute here, and that's going to be super unfortunate for the attacking side of Charlotte. It's going to allow this Penny Parker to stay alive a lot longer than we may expect, unless they don't ult and they just stand there and die. That's also an option that you could do that I wasn't thinking about. Right now, Filippo Berry is going to be trying to make this happen, but it looks like they might just give this up. They're not going to try to go for the recontest without full team power.
That's a pretty smart move, knowing that you're just not really gonna have it, and you don't want to let them have much in the way of distance. So, all right,
it's a controversial one though.
It's an idea, but it also, you knew that you really couldn't stagger them for too long, so everyone's gonna back up. You do have 4 ultimates now coming forward, so you gotta be careful. The Onk will fall, but so does Loco.
It's going to be that Moon Knight ultimate coming in early. 2 players inside Filippo Berry have fallen. So Charlotte really starting to get their footing here. And this is what I talked about at the beginning of the map. It's when you've got that point cap that it really becomes a lot easier to probably follow through on all 3 points. And unless we see a really strong turnaround from Filippo Berry, I'm talking total team kill, this is going to be really difficult for them to find long-term success against. As Charlotte, the cart just moves so fast that as long as somebody's on it, they're going to get a lot of space for free.
Got a big grab as well. They brought the Penny Parker all the way to the back line. That actually may not be the best idea. They have a chance. Both the Vanguards are up, and they've just been kind of chilling here on this this top stairway. So as they are being pushed away again, they are falling and just being batted down like flies. Filippo Berry getting smashed aside, as only half the team is still resilient. And on the other end of things, Seek Engineers are starting to mechanic their way up into further in this lane.
Filippo Berry, they finally get an elimination in their favor, but with this Punisher on card, it's going to be really difficult to show your face and not have it shot off your body at a time like that. But unfortunately, Punisher gets a little bit overzealous. It's now 2 players missing on the side of Charlotte. I need to see 3 to 4 more fall before I'm confident to call this a team fight win. 18 HP in a dream from Loco, who barely stays alive. No, here we go. This is exactly what they needed to stall. This is the less than 60 seconds on the clock. They finally start to get the momentum against them, but Charlotte, smartly enough, is going to continue to move backwards and regroup before they re-engage.
That's got to be a call there by Black Demon, who has also switched over onto the Black Panther. Maybe that's where everything kind of matches up as Mock Dinosaur moves over to the Doctor Strange, and everything is just kind of a role change. They make it on the moment. They do it on the fly. It's going to be a final 6v6, maybe to end out this first round, and you're seeing the hands being thrown by Capstu. They're on that front line, trying to hold for their team, but they've seen some attack all the way back.
Attack all the way back here. A couple of ultimates in the pocket, but with the 6v5 advantage, 19 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be a huge breakthrough for Charlotte as they were just about to lose this fight, but all of a sudden the double kill in their favor. 3 ultimates in the pocket and the Invisible Woman going down. This is another fight in Charlotte's favor. This might give them that second point cap.
I don't think there's enough time to really do it, especially with, well, at least to be able to stop it here for Filippo Berry. They just don't have the same kind of firepower, the same kind of surprise that they had out of Meki, especially with the Galactic Legend that he was before. So this one will be second half. Overtime is unlocked, but it was plenty of time. 1.5 minutes to go. You got the rest of the half to the rest of the half of this map to travel, and you're going straight into the old egg pit.
Right into the egg pit here. That third matchup in this second map. It's going to be a really strong showing for Charlotte, who are almost completely full held. They're going to try and emerge victorious here. We hear that Punisher ultimate make an appearance once more as they want to continue this level of aggression, just trying to find the value they're looking for. With 1 minute left on the clock, though, capping with any time remaining would be lucky, but capping all 3 points at all is the name of the game. Here's every ultimate under the sun. Did somebody say one more? A Moon Knight ultimate?
Oh,
well,
man.
here you go. Moon Knight ultimate in the backline gives his life for the attempt and finds nothing for it.
48 seconds to go. Only one staying up, and it is in fact Local, who is on this rocket, and they're just trying to not get caught, and they're trying to stay alive, give themselves some extra armor if they can, see if they can keep themselves just rocketing away, and very difficult to take down, because if they get staggered out, they're going to be down at least one of their 2 strategists. Can they get this to go the distance? Nearly more than a third of the way there. They're going to have to stay directly on site. So now we bring more of the fight. Can the Cardinals push them away?
Oh, the Eye of Agamotto not able to find any value off the back of it. It's going to be Filippo Berry Red coming in once again. 14 seconds left on the clock, but we've heard this song and we did not like the ending. They have done this now 3 times where they win the penultimate fight, and then it's that final overtime touch where we see Charlotte come back to life, that clutch factor, if you will. The esports factor, if you will. And there they are, almost as if on cue, but a couple of more ultimates in the pocket could be really beneficial. The Jeff E just throws them right back onto the cart. 8 too many, but they are walking into a massacre this time around. Filippo Berry finally able to stop their opponent, Charlotte. You're just shy of the 3rd point.
It was a great idea. Back to the point, seeing what you can do with it. And for all of a moment, that Jeff play felt like it was just kind of crazy. They were able to keep themselves protected. But the fact that they were able to get 2 points is actually so telling, considering that went to 0-second overtime when they were just opening up the cart end of Convergence. So now we go into Filippo Berry's half. Anything they got to change? I've got to see what their attack is going to ultimately manifest.
I think Filippo Berry just needs to communicate a little bit better. I think we lost that first point, and then it was a lot of flowing in, a lot of somebody getting eliminated in the first couple of seconds. I think as long as they play calm, cool, and collected the same way they played that initial defense, they're going to be able to find a lot of success here on the attack. I do think, though, I'll give it maybe a 60% chance that we do end up going to a map 3 right now.
It's feeling likely now that you see, at least Seek get themselves kind of their feet wet, a good position overall.
Yeah.
Do we have any ultimates that carry it over? Does that work?
No,
Actually,
not in this one.
It does not work. Okay, so that does not work the same way. I was wondering about that.
Domination's the only map type where ultimates will carry over between rounds.
Which is pretty cool. But either way,
yeah,
we walk into this one as well. You can have the thing that was kind of their tried and true tested Cardinal style. Jeff might in fact be what they kind of stick with, Reverse Reaper. They're gonna be shifting over and staying with a Namor this time around. But Meki Fan is finally getting off of that Winter Soldier, getting onto the Winter Soldier away from the Star-Lord. Maybe that's going to be a big flex.
I think it could be really beneficial if they choose to stick to it, but let's see how this first approach goes. If they end up getting eliminated in the blink of an eye, well, I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see almost a reflexive swap back to something a little bit more comfortable. But regardless, I'm eager to see if these teams can bring to the table the level of play that we're looking for. A lot of free space being given up by Charlotte here. They're going to play a backline defense. I'm a little surprised to be seeing this, but maybe Filippo Berry is going to be able to take advantage of it. There it is, already 3 eliminations against Filippo Berry, so POB going to be taken down by Charlotte early on. It's pretty much just Loco and that Onk cleaning the team up. That's going to be 30 seconds off the clock.
Well, they have a triple strategist matchup right now. They're going about 1-2-3 as they have that double duelist, and then you got the single Vanguard onto the Doctor Strange. So they're playing to be able to keep everyone supported and very long-standing into these fights, and just allowing a lot of redirect and mitigation off of the shields here for this Doctor Strange. But in opposite, you're just going straight into the fray. Can Archon just run him down? He's throwing that giant rocky shoulder, and he wants to disrupt the back line as much as he can.
It's a bold play for sure to just swing in the back with the thing, but here's the thing. There he is.
He's right there.
There he is. That's the thing. Here's the thing. It's going to be a great dive into the back line here. 186 HP. They're going to be dwindled to nearly 0. I don't think he's going to be able to make it out with his life, and unfortunately, not enough damage is going to be done to make that worthwhile. We still see Charlotte with the numbers advantage for the time. Reverse Reaper does eventually go down, and as of right now, I mean, Charlotte, they're doing a splendid job keeping this matchup alive.
They've really not found a pick. That's been the problem. You have a triple strategist matchup, and you definitely have to get one of those guys down. But everyone can basically, the healer heals the healer. They can just constantly go over it. And then Loco Way has been given free looks. They've been saying Hong Hong, here comes the Onk, as they just take him out. Archon will switch off from the thing. They're going for Magneto, seeing if they can change up the game.
I think it makes a little bit of sense here. You know, you've got a lot of aggression happening on the back line. The thing, he's a good brawler, but he's not going to really protecting his team in the back line. And speaking of back lines, one is currently being dismantled. Charlotte is going to be able to find 2 of their players down and out in the blink of an eye for a little very 6v4 advantage, and they are just going to delete the rest of Charlotte from the equation here. The Psylocke ultimate is going to be just around the corner, but I'm glad to see them holding on to it. They could have gone for a slower approach, waited to get that and use that for engagement, but they said, hey, let's run it in dry. Let's see what we're going to be able to find. And with 100 seconds on the clock, they cap about a minute faster than Charlotte was able to. Uh-oh, busted.
Oh boy, yeah, getting found out at least a little bit. So Reverse Reaper also switching things around. See, if I like that there's a comfort here for Reverse and pretty much everyone to be able to kind of flex where they need to, not sticking with any one given just hero as it were. But they're definitely aiming for a flank position to try and give that card some extra movement. And this is a little bit different than what we saw to the Seek early.
Yeah, this is definitely a different play style, but I like that we're seeing a lot more just up-in-your-face aggression. I feel like any team-based shooter like this, that's often advice I'm giving teams at this Scholastic level, is just don't be afraid to be aggressive. It's a video game. You're gonna respawn. Yeah. Sometimes you have to get up close and personal, and it looks like it is lending itself pretty well to Philip Berry, but their kryptonite, I shouldn't say that about a Marvel game, I guess. Their weakness, rather, is they don't shoot the Onk, ever. When Moon Knight throws that Onk down, it's destructible. It's got like 100 HP, and every time he shoots it, it explodes outwards to any enemy in the radius. If you're not shooting it, he is farming damage, and they just let Loco get away with that too many fights in a row.
Yeah, he had a triple kill before the other ones were cleaned up there by the engineers at a Seek, and he has another Onk. He's just going to continue to redirect so many of those Moonblades, and you have to get rid of that so much faster. And still, he can do this from an upper position, and no one is unseating them. It is so difficult to have to deal with, and he doesn't have to worry about using the ultimate, but guess what? It's coming anyway!
Definitely didn't have to, but definitely just going for the highlight reel here. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as Capstu into the backline actually finds 3 of their own. So the Moon Knight ult does come in a little bit too early. The team able to take advantage of that. They push not into it, but through it. And Philip Berry, the lead they took, is going to be tied up here. Black Panther goes in, not able to find anything. There's a team kill for Philip Berry. They're going to get a lot of free space off of that.
That was massive. I love that we get to see so much of that as well. Reverse Reaper, they're going to go hunting again. They use that Dance of the Butterfly kind of to minimal effect, mostly as just a threat. It doesn't really have a kind of kill confirmed threat unless you actually have some damage, and they were mostly just looking to see what could come about. Soft wall, making sure that anyone that comes through has to make themselves known, and they're going to get this big push off this elbow.
A lot of damage coming out early here for the side of Philip Berry, but all 12 players still standing. Could spell a mild bit of disaster if nobody's able to find that first elimination. It's actually going to be Josh, who's taken out early by Black Demon on that Black Panther. Black Panther, one of the more unique characters in the game, one that I really still don't understand how to play, but I do think he's got a very neat play style. Magneto Meteor not able to find much on the side of Philip Berry. Local has fallen. It's going to be a 5-5 Cloak and Dagger ultimate. Desperate to make an appearance, but Caps2 has fallen. I think that's going to be the beginning of the end here of Philip Berry's push. 90 seconds left, just a couple of seconds away, and
oh boy,
cap is possible if they're not busted. Nah, they are guarding that cart with their lives.
Yeah, no one's walking away from that, unless. Reverse Reaper, are they found? Oh, no, they're being found. Okay, they're gonna be able to use this as well. They do have their Dance of the Butterfly.
No way.
They even need to use it. Yeah, no. In, out.
No way.
Yeah.
No way you live this.
Oh, might be able to.
Dude, the team's about to be back. This is crazy.
They are
They do
staggering
so
this
much
out.
damage. They go in. They're gotta ult, right? Surely.
Yeah,
Surely.
there it goes.
Oh! You waited too long. You waited too long. The Moon Knight was able to get that off. Takes you down with a right click. It's going to be one player down 6v5 as the team has to engage off the back of the Mantis ultimate, trying to keep themselves alive. This is tough. I really think for Little Berry, if they don't get an elimination in the next 10 seconds or so, and they aren't doing that, then this could be a disaster. Resurrection does come through for one. Josh not going to be picked up off the back of it, though. Archon has fallen. I think Charlotte is going to push us to map number 3. Oh, my fault.
But wait, hold on.
My bad.
You have at least Caps 2 trying to just completely subvert your expectations,
got
and they
it.
do use that. They get rid of the Yonk, that one no longer providing the redirect, and we're going to be going to at least the halfway mark. It was 20 seconds, which is that much better than what it was picked up. Oh, but wait, they're going to stagger this with an overtime just for this moment to not allow them to have even more time, and this could turn into a final fight to keep them from getting to halfway. Is 2 meters out. They leap onto this.
No Groot ultimate, 200 HP. You're stuck in the back line. You get Eye of Agamotto'd, and you get eliminated from the fight all the same. Just when you think Charlotte is going to be losing map number 2, or at least having to push all the way to that third and final point, they spin it on a 10. They force us to a third map. I believe only our second map 3 of the season here on stream. So it's going to be a beautiful performance. Charlotte starts rough. They clean up there in the end, and they push us all the way to that third and final map of the night.
That is wild. That looked like it was a sure thing, but as soon as they converged, well, they fit the name of the game. We will be going over to Escort. So, can they drag that cart across the entirety of this map? Do you feel like at this point that we've finally seen Seek get themselves into proper spaces and faces? Is this a squad that might be able to reverse sweep this best of 3?
Well, it definitely leans into my earlier comment of the team that's statistically a little bit lower ranked finding more success on that original kind of domination match point. But going into this Escort, I think it's going to be really fascinating. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing a difference of bans here. I think maybe taking the Groot out of the equation, even though you did beat them, holy cow, you just got a little bit lucky to do so. I think removing Groot could be really beneficial. So going into this next matchup, I'm expecting a Groot ban. I'm expecting, what else? What else am I expecting? Actually, that's a great question. So I'm expecting a Groot ban. I'm expecting a Cloak and Dagger ban. I think those are the big two we're going to be seeing going into this next game.
Because they've not really shown that they are reliant on Cloak and Dagger, so it's not exactly necessary for them to have to keep it around. And I do like that they still force the Luna Snow to be completely off the board. But they made up for having no Luna Snow by simply going a 1-2-3. They had one Vanguard off that Doctor Strange, and then they went over into that triple Strategist. So it ended up paying off. It was too much healing, too much of the time, and they definitely got to find a way to get rid of a Moon Knight if they are getting absolutely onked on all the time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just ban Moon Knight. I forgot. I slipped up there in all my guesses. I forgot Moon Knight is a bannable option. So maybe just ban that Moon Knight, take him out of the way. I think that could really hurt the side of Seek if they choose to do that.
By the way, is this whenever you go into these private lobbies, there's no way to just have the same lobby go from map to soon. Soon
we hope. Yeah, soon we hope. It's a little bit awkward, but...
But also, for all you out there, in case you're wondering about things that are coming up soon, we've got 2 giveaways that are going to be right around the corner after this matchup does conclude. So make sure, if you're sweating it out for some extra, fun, it's going to be both here with some esports and our final map of the evening, as well as the ability to win something from over here with VESL. And again, every single week, I think for at least 2, maybe even 3 more weeks, the regular season will be going forward as we finalize who's going to be the best here for the spring, maybe even find themselves a berth into states.
I mean, this is going to be a bit of a fascinating matchup. Both these players want to come in and put themselves in the winner's position as we get closer to those series. But as those players are joining the lobby, we're going to give them a minute to do so. We're actually going to announce one of those giveaway winners right now, because if we're waiting, we might as well put a giveaway winner on the board. So a big congratulations to Los Troles, that's one of our VESL students. That's one of our STEM students. That's one of the students we saw on 2 leaderboards today. Los Troles, congratulations on being our penultimate giveaway winner. We're gonna have one more giveaway for you guys at the end of this series, though. So stick around if you have not gone anywhere yet. No need to now.
Yeah, unless someone just called you to the kitchen, you need to put your plate away, or maybe it's time for dinner. You know what? You're allowed to step away for like a few seconds.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you raised some good points.
Yeah.
I think you raised some important points. If you have to finish your homework, if you didn't do the dishes when you were supposed to, or that's it. That's the only 2 reasons you're allowed to leave. So anything else, you better wait. You better wait.
No more. Oh, wait, unless they're also saying grilled cheese time, right?
Oh,
grilled cheese and with tomato soup.
This is a grilled cheese household, the one that I'm in right now. We are big grilled cheese eaters. Except I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say that. I'm not a big tomato soup guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Fair.
I can't help it. My partner loves tomato soup. We have like 10 cans, I think, and none of them are for me.
Now, is it just a soup thing or is it a tomato thing?
No, it's tomato soup. I actually really enjoy a couple of soups. I'm not a huge soup guy, but like chicken noodle soup can't go wrong. Right? Wedding soup depends what the vegetables in it are. Because I don't like onions, and sometimes there's onion. That's a whole different thing. But chicken noodle soup, my number one, my top dog.
Okay, what about broccoli cheddar? Because I feel like for everyone that overhypes it, it is really good, but it's just like a vegetable fondue to a degree.
If broccoli cheddar is put in front of me, I'll eat it, but I'm not going to order broccoli cheddar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now,
it's not like I'm not anti-broccoli cheddar, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get it either.
Now hear me out. Is chili closer to soup or stew?
Chili is a stew. That's not closer to it.
Is it?
Chili is not soup. I don't know if that's a fact. I'm saying that's how I passionately feel.
Okay.
About it. I cannot look at chili and go, that's soup. Chili is a stew. Like when you picture a stew, I promise you're actually picturing chili and thinking it's a stew. I swear.
Yeah,
I swear.
I can see that. I just feel like a stew is just you can easily define the chunks and the ingredients. You can be able to pick them out. But whereas a chili is kind of like it took the stew and just blended it, and then a soup pureed it completely. It's like a transition of matter.
It's about how long you have to chew the food on the soup to stew scale. I think it's important. Like if you're chewing it for a long time, it's stew. If you're chewing it a little, it's
Can
soup.
you eat it with a straw?
That's a good question because if you can't, that's stew. But if you can eat it with a straw, that is soup.
Unless you have a boba straw.
I live by that.
That's just cheating. So.
Ew, that. Anyway, Marvel Rivals is happening. That's what we're actually all here for. Philip Berry versus Seek. And dude, let's take a look at these bands. We've made a lot of predictions here. I think I'm expecting Groot, Moon Knight, or Luna Snow. I think those are a solid triple guess.
All right. Considering how much damage they did before, I cannot imagine they would keep banning Wolverine. Like, please.
No, seriously.
Like, don't.
Seriously.
Yeah, just getting rid of the Adam Warlock, superb. Love seeing that because that's very smart. They used it early on when they had the Mantis.
They did well with it, yeah.
Get rid of Moon Knight. Don't waste this first pick because Wolverine has literally not been used. Unless they're going to meme it and then pick him after this. Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. I think that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So now they're going to go for their safety pick and be able to kind of keep what they want for later. And what was their highest priority?
Oh, you know what I just thought of? It was Groot earlier.
Yeah.
Groot was one of the safety picks earlier. That makes sense. Okay. I was wondering, why didn't Groot get banned earlier? It's because they're protecting
He won
This time it's
Namor.
Namor. Interesting.
I don't think they would have prioritized getting rid of him.
I don't think so either.
Oh, yeah.
He was not at the top of the ban list, I fear. And Black Panther. That one makes sense. That one makes a lot of sense. I would have protected Moon Knight, but if it's not Moon Knight, it's Black Panther.
All right, let's see what.
Dude, they gotta ban Moon Knight. They have to.
Well, they banned. Wait, hold on. Are we on reverse sides?
Luna Snow on one side.
Okay, so they got rid of their own Luna Snow, and you already see that two are being floated for Luna Snow. So that's a blind pick. Who do they end up getting rid of?
Bro, if this isn't Moon Knight, I'm gonna puke.
all the chili stew.
All the chili stew soup is getting to me. You have to.
Come on, get rid of Moon Knight. There, very smart. Okay.
Oh my goodness, I've never been prouder of a team on stream before. Holy cow, that was the peak choice to make. They banned the Moon Knight, and honestly, they might win off the back of it. I'm excited to see if they can.
Okay, so they took out two very powerful figures that were there before. They wanted to make sure they got Namor. Feels like that was very much Reverse Reaper's call. Like, please let me have this because there wasn't sincere consistency across each of their picks from the first domination to the convergence, except for that Namor. So I can kind of see why they wanted to protect him. We'll go into map number 3. On the attacking half, first will in fact be Seek, as the engineers want to find themselves a reverse sweep here in our best of 3. It's our final fight of the night. And on the other side of things, Philip O'Berry wants to get right back to where they started. Archon will be on the Iron Man, and Reverse Reaper is going to be on that Venom that you hate, love, hate.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship, it really is. And I think Venom in this game, too, is part of the reason I feel so dispassionately about him recently. Playing against Venom is tough. Especially when a Venom player knows what they're doing. Now, Does who's playing Reverse Reaper know how to play Venom? We haven't really found out yet. So this could be really beneficial. This could be no bueno. I think there's only one way to find out.
I also wonder if this is going to be their call to play onto the Venom right now from a defensive standpoint, and if they'll switch over to the Namor whenever they go into the attack, because remember, they secured it for Reverse Reaper, and we've seen role changes for Reverse Reaper. He's gone between being a Vanguard and over to a Duelist, so seeing that swap when it's side dependent.
Going for the aggressive play early. Hulk deep into the back line. Diving onto that Venom. And check this out. Black Panther right behind him. I believe that's the Kraven skin as well. A very cool one. Oh, the spear through the dash. Into another spear. Into another dash. That is the way you play the Black Panther. You spam those utilities and abilities and you use them over and over. Looking for those eliminations. Not able to get a pick yet, but the damage was done. 2 players eliminated on the side of Charlotte. I believe it's 2 on the side of POB as well. Resurrection comes through. Local returns to the fight. And the card, I mean, it's getting some free movement here for Charlotte.
This is definitely very Genji-like of Black Demon.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Trying to be able to get that quick isolated pick and seeing if he can just upscale on that. So as they do so, though, this cart is definitely being delayed. They've not been able to do too much with it on the Psylocke. You're going to see Local Way trying to continue to do more. They are very close to getting into that butterfly dance, so they just have to be able to kind of get that extra support. One elimination, good KO, as they're again seeing this defense just slowly wear thin.
Oh, that spear would have been wild, but unfortunately a little bit overzealous, not able to shoot up into the atmosphere like that. 1 player down. Black Demon does find a pick onto the Iron Man. Could be another one just around the corner here. Invisible Woman, nowhere to run. 1 HP, somehow still alive. Beautiful read on the rotation back to the health pack. And Black Demon has given a large lead here to Charlotte as that card approaches that first point cap.
This feels like such a tough map for Invisible Woman. They try to set up so many shields, and it feels like there's just so much verticality that you can get. And Black Demon really showing us exactly why their name is as such. They are leaping into the pit, and they're coming out an absolute demon on the other side. This attack is working very well. Oh.
A clever approach in the back line. Now, unfortunately, a little bit of overzealousness goes a long way, but it looks like your team is going to approach that first point cap pretty effectively. 4.5 minutes left on the clock, and the rotation continues to move in.
Have that extra support, see if they can be able to find this as they got that invisibility. Do they even need to use the Dance of the Butterfly? They do have it directly on top of target, but you have that spear follow-up again. Black Demon just being such a tough spear in the back line. Oh, they actually used their ultimate at the last second. That Bass Descent will go forward. Is it enough to delay them? It doesn't look like it.
Not enough of a delay quite yet, I fear. Oh, poor guy, nowhere to go. Capsu not on the Groot. I'm curious as to why the Groot wouldn't be making an appearance here, but the Magneto does make a lot of sense. We talked about that earlier. Having that shield to help the rest of the team, who's a little bit squishier, goes a long way. Dude, the cart's already halfway to point number 2. I mean, this is a quick movement here for Charlotte. They're really starting to step into their stride.
I'm wondering if Reverse Reaper, if he's going to be sticking onto this Venom. We've not seen the same level of impact. They're not playing it alongside of Spider-Man. They don't really have that symbiote to be able to share around. Black Demon is just anywhere and everywhere. Exactly what you want to do, especially when your team is on attack. But they get cleared out as they finally just go fishing and they catch them on the line. That's going to be Witch that's falling out, and maybe this defense out of Philip Berry is about to pan out. Uh-oh.
Oh, this could be big if he hits a shot, but everybody ducks up and out of the way. Has to get that next pick. It does not do it fast enough. Misses the again. Still a double kill off the back of it. About to turn into a triple, I believe. Yep, there it is with the help of the team. Philip Berry finally beginning to stabilize. 3 minutes left on the clock. The cart just 1 fight away from that second point cap.
It's going to get a few little spider footprints backwards. But this is a team that's been kind of just winning a fast snowball overall to get through that first point. And then even at that gateway, that funnel point was ineffective from keeping them from any sort of distance. I feel like this is going to be a play up from using at least your Hulk, and they're going to go smashing in. They've actually got a good ult behind them and the Mantis as well, and they just might be able to just full body this.
Oh, a lot of damage out. Oh, there he goes again. Cap just not able to stay alive. The whale comes in. The damage is out, but I think Hulk with that ultimate in his pocket, is going to pop it early on. It's going to be a fight link currently in favor of Philip Berry, but as long as this Hulk's still standing, it could spell disaster with the regeneration and the healing on top of it. Nearly unkillable right now. Back up to 1,500. Finally going to lose it back down to that 750 that he's got in the pocket. 2 minutes left on the clock.
Hulk smash, how about Hulk clap? Is a full round of applause when those green fists come flying, and he's just consistently sticking around. A double kill there for a mock dinosaur. They're adding another one to the board. It's just fist fight to a spine, and they're killing the old man Magneto. So this one is going to be a tough defense for the Cardinals out of Filippo Berry. That second checkpoint acquired, and they've got just under 3 minutes to get this next one. They made it a quick fight even with that one stagger.
Things looking hairy for Filippo Berry. It could be a little bit scary.
Oh boy.
I can't think of a fourth rhyme. Black Panther into the back line here, looking for an opportunity to strike early. The dash is out, the ultimate's in the pocket, and of course, there it is. The freight train, known as the Black Panther, dominates. Black Demon finally showing us what it means to be that eternity-ranked player. And I'll be honest, after our first map, I was a little worried we weren't going to get that top-level gameplay. But here we are. Clearly, Black Panther is where Black Demon is meant to be. And now I wonder if the name is simply an homage to their favorite hero.
I mean, that very much could be true. Sometimes when you're a high-ranked player, you feel like it's your responsibility to play kind of the characters and the roles that are more of like a mom taking care of the kids. But when you're finally let off the leash, you just go out and play. What a big find! Oh, that's going to be a quick dance there by Loco. Black Demon is going to do that, and that quick combination is really paving the way for success. Everyone following out of the Cardinals.
I don't think there's a way that Charlotte doesn't have this in the bag right now. They've got the numbers, they've got the ult lead, a beautiful Invisible Woman push, but unfortunately nobody falls off the map in the time. The ultimate from the Invisible Woman does come up, but I don't know if Kingsbreak is going to be able to do enough with it here to keep the team alive. They do have a massive spawn advantage, but okay, here we go. Okay, nope, Resurrection immediately negates it. We're back to a 6v6.
All over again. They've got a chance. They also do have this Meteor if they want to use it off of Reverse Reaper, who kind of a similar situation. Maybe they're just playing between that kind of pocket pick and roll based on being defense or offense. They have been pushed all the way to the brink, but not completely to a victorious point. And now we're actually changing it out. Capstu is going over to the Black Panther. They're trying to do him one better.
Capstu is really going to have to not only show up, but show off at a time like this, because playing Black Panther into a player that clearly does it so well is going to be really scary here. So let's see if they can go kind of toe-to-toe with an eternity-ranked player.
Oh, man. What an ego you'd be able to find on the other side of things. And they get one.
I mean,
Invisible Woman down. That's going for the strategist. That is exactly how you want to fight it. But they're trying to find a way to duel against their counter Black Panther. They're gonna get this one going again as another Kraken comes through. But they are just cracking skulls.
They both whip a bunch, which is super funny. Capstu is at 90 HP, has to get out of the way. I think they're going to lose their life if they're not careful here. But Reverse Reaper is able to find one. Mock Dino just body slamming Penny Parker Archon over and over again. Loses their life for it, though. Hulk's ultimate, one of my least favorite in the game. I really wish he could do a little bit more with it, but regardless, I digress. 20 seconds left on the clock here. Let's see what we can make happen with it. Goes in early. Black Panther dash into the back line. Lucky Barnes ult.
Oh my goodness, everything is being popped at the exact same time. Meki Fan, who was on Star-Lord pretty much exclusively earlier, trying to be able to get some of that Winter Soldier working, and now we just get Dine and Dash and Dive again. That's gonna be Bass Ascent, trying to be able to power up, but they get clawed from behind, and finally, this point is starting to move. Overtime, and they are all over it. Are they able to come back and be able to defend at the top of the ramp?
It's going to be a big difference maker here if they're able to make this happen here in overtime. 3 points versus 2 is a huge difference. And with that Mantis ultimate in your pocket, you could bring it to the table here, but unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to be seeing much more from Filippo Berry as that 3rd point cap in overtime is inevitable.
Capstu, their Black Panther just wasn't enough to try and bring this one back around. So it took them all the way to overtime. But they do find 3, and the biggest difference there, Septilence, is that the last time that they were trying to push this cart, they stalled after 1. So, got to get the job done. They saved a Namor for themselves. Do they make a name for themselves with that Namor? Reverse Reaper's going to try.
Yeah, I mean, you raised a good point, right? They put that Namor in the back pocket early on. They wanted to try and use him to get some hyper-aggressive playstyle or logistics on their side. And then, they, correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't really play him on that first half.
No.
Maybe at the beginning?
No, not at all. They were.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe just a look at them.
Wildly fascinating.
Yeah, they purely, from a defensive standpoint, took the Vanguard role, and now when they're going to attack, they've shifted into duelist. I have to wonder how much of that is just them speaking that game plan to their teammates, or maybe if everyone feels comfortable when it comes to basically having your back to the wall or bringing the fight to your opponent.
Wolverine actually making an appearance as well. I mean, the doors haven't opened yet, so there's plenty of time for them to swap, but Reverse Reaper might be playing Wolverine, and that could be a first. I mean, Wolverine is very, very strong.
I'd have a triple duelist? Okay, so if Archon, who was on duelist from that Iron Man, switches over, stays with the thing, we have triple duelist, double strategist. I'm not at all surprised to see. No, we're gonna have. Yeah, we have a double strategist. So Meki Fan going over to the Star-Lord, that seems pretty kosher. That's exactly what they were finding so much value on earlier.
Sure.
And if they're off angle, and especially where they can get a lot of verticality on this map, it makes a lot of sense.
The thing goes out early, almost finds the cloak and dagger immediately. Oh, no. Oh my goodness, 1 HP in a dream here. Cloak just refusing to go down. Excuse me, Dagger just refusing to go down. Resurrection onto Kingsbreak as soon as they get taken out of the equation. Mach should be losing their Hulk transformation, and that often does lead to losing their life not far after. Agent Witch finally falls, and this could be a decent start for Philip O'Berry on the offense.
You're seeing so much of these kind of street battles happening. Capstu onto this Black Panther is making it light work as well as they get rid of Mantis. So there goes some of your extra healing, some revival. Reverse Reaper onto this Wolverine. They will stick here for a minute. Not even committed to the Namor. I think they're realizing that, you know, that safety pick, they wanted to be able to keep that nearby. Maybe it's not as effective as they hoped it would be.
Just feels like a waste of a protection now more than anything, but I guess hindsight's 20/20 after all. The card's still moving regardless on the side of Philip O'Berry. They're going to get some decent credit for it. And check this out, the double Indomitable dive in. Might be able to find someone early. Psylocke dashes out. They try to chase it. They're going to lose the track, unfortunately. And it's Black Demon with that first load.
Maybe they feel like they can be able to kind of tank kill off of this Wolverine. He really can bring the claws and be able to make him so difficult to live. You have the full charge punch coming out of Archon, who is just full sending it as hard as they can just to get this thing to walk. First point coming up, still about 2.5 minutes as they can. Josh, after they were kind of subbed into this, has been playing a very quiet game for the most part off of the strat roll, but it's exactly what his team has needed, I think, to find some confidence to go into these more aggressive style plays, especially when you're on triple duelist.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to be said about being a strategist player in this game is the best healers, the best support players are often the ones the commentators aren't talking about.
Yeah.
Because that typically means that you're doing you're doing your job well enough that you're not pulling focus. And as a strategist, that's typically the job, right? Is to heal the team, help elevate them into a winning position, and then you do your best in the back line to make sure that they can find success. And I think Josh has been doing really well on that so far. With only 100 seconds left on the clock, though, I feel like I really want to see Philip O'Berry get a bit more aggressive. Black Demon, of course, making that so difficult to do as he continues to live in the back line, as he's supposed to. A beautiful performance from this Black Panther regardless, though. Okay, wow! Somebody else is upset that I'm talking about the Black Panther.
Reverse Reaper comes in, gets a double kill, but now all of a sudden he's still in the back line. He is keeping this cart from moving. That's actually probably one of the strongest positions, considering that Capstu is going to keep these bodies from moving by putting them in coffins. As they go off street bend, and we're trying to find them right around that food truck. They had to bring another fight to eventually up in Black Demon, but now it comes down to one big fight to finally get this first point. They've got less than a minute to go, and they are just going to ruin the lives of two quick strategists.
Oh, blink and you miss it. Half the team down the drain. It's going to be Capsu back on the Black Panther, leading the charge here to guarantee that first point cap for Philip O'Berry. They're really living up to the better late than never mindset, and I think with 3:13 on the clock, they're back onto the Groot as well. They've swapped who's playing it, but I do think it can still be beneficial, especially if they catch that Hulk, but he jumps out. Still going to lose his life, I fear. Yup, I mean, this is just insane that he lives that long.
Yeah, they needed Reverse Reaper to, and even though they saved the Namor, they thought that that was going to be, you know, kind of a success point. He felt comfortable on it. They wanted a second Vanguard, and they now have a second Thick Boy to help themselves survive. From up in the tree, do you see the beast? He's going to throw the spear. He's going to be looking for heads to roll and to put on pikes outside of his tribe. But can he be able to get any kill confirms? Because he's chasing them down at left and right. Best descent. Now they're being bested as they try to ascend the mountain.
That's a character they should put in here, Beast. He's a cool one.
That'd be sick.
That would be sick. And not enough X-Men representation in here for my liking, at least not yet. Oh, not enough Black Panther representation either, as he is taken out of the equation early on. It's going to be Archon on the thing, trying to break through, probably find a strategist in the back line. A lot of damage dealt, but the kill confirm is the hard part. The shields go up. The ultimate comes out from Star-Lord in the back line, and there goes local 6v5 in favor of POB.
You don't want to have to go firing after an Incredible Hulk if you can. You want to be able to take this one pretty much everywhere. You get at least one. That's a triple kill here for Meki. Can they at least get some extra damage and eventually you clean up? All right. Yeah, just bully him a little bit. It's just like every good diva. Come on. Stagger him. Wait, no. Not like every good diva. Oh my god, he did not get that kill.
It's happened a couple of times. It's been a bit of a slippery snake on the side of Charlotte. They've been able to survive with just maybe 10 HP or less multiple times now. It's not an easy feat, but it's an impressive one, definitely.
On their own backline from this back funnel. Capstu's looking for more. They go hunting. Can they find a double kill? They're going to be isolated against this Hulk. Trying to back their way up, but they will dive out of the invisibility prism. So trying to go right back into it. They try to break off some of that utility as well. But this is a huge fight, especially with 1.94 meters to go here for Philip O'Berry. They're trying to get to that second point and unlock the third with a lot of time remaining. And there is so many people from Seek falling out.
So many players just disappearing in the blink of an eye. And once again, Philip O'Berry really feels like they're going to be pushing us into overtime here on this third and final map unless Charlotte locks in on this defense.
Few huge fights, 2 minutes to do it. By the time we got here last time, Septilence, Seek had a lot of time to work on this third point. They got through that second point, lickety split. And now they have to deal with the fact that there is a running clock and no one that's set to pause it except for this squad. Big leap going straight into the fray. Not down Mock Dinosaur for a second as they brought hands to this fist fight.
Yeah, it's going to be up close and personal, but check out the kill feed here. Already one player down on the side of Charlotte. They get resurrected into the fight here, and the HP bar really kind of burning down for Mock, but luckily enough, it's 1,500 HP, so even when you're taking critical damage, you can stay alive for quite a while. We hear that Star-Lord ultimate from the heavens, but I don't think it's going to be able to find much value. Eliminated by Local there. One Guardian of the Galaxy dismisses another during a pivotal fight, and Mock will finally not be able to make it out of a fight. They wall him in, they get the elimination, and Philip O'Berry getting dangerously close to pushing us into extra rounds.
A minute would be amazing. Having any bonus time, especially going to start walling up. You're going to be ready to crank some 90s because there's definitely going to be extra surfaces you have to deal with. That may, in fact, entrap them. No, Local goes out. Black Demon is down. And this is going to be the Cardinals finding themselves into extra turns, extra fights. They keep just walling him into a prison of roots and more. Off this transformation, I don't think they just have enough time. That's cleanup duty, and they do it with 48 seconds remaining.
48 seconds remaining. They take us not only to map 3, but they push us into overtime on it to try and make that happen. As we go to the reset here, a minute on the clock for one, 1:48 for the other. I believe it's not going to be a single overtime timer from here on out. That is the only time they have. After that, the second they step off the cart, that round comes to an end.
Better be attached to it. So everything just kind of rolls right back to where we are. So Seek is going to be on the attack. Do they bring the same game plan? Black Demon, I know that he loved to be able to dive backlines. Separation from that card, he's going to have to leave it to the Strategist, Requiem, as well as Witch, just kind of chilling in proximity to it. Mock Dinosaur looked very strong onto that Hulk. And actually, are they going... It does look like, at least for the moment, they may switch off of it, but that's triple Strategist if they decide to stay with this.
I think it makes a little bit of sense, at least in terms of the complexity of choosing to go triple strategist right now.
Yeah.
It's because the second one person on your team goes down, you don't really have time to wait for them to come back. And I think that might be part of the mentality here, is just keep the players that are doing the damage up as long as we possibly can. The swap that I really want to see, and this is no disrespect to the player, I just think Hulk needs a lot of work. I think Mock Dinosaur could be getting a lot more value on a different Vanguard. The fact that they're doing this well on Hulk means they could be doing wonders on Thor. So I would be curious to see if they'd be interested in swapping in the future weeks.
Surprised we haven't seen some Thor tonight, but you know what? You have your comforts and you're able to get what you can. King's Break, it's going to be way up on that and seeing if they can get some visual information. Yeah, claw it up, Capstu. Yeah.
Yeah, get him. Yeah.
It's called feng shui around here. They're just trying to move things around. All right, so again, playing from off angle. Gonna wait for them to come up and see what they can get, but they also see their counter Black Panther. Capstu's been trying to match them, trying to best them. Who can basically speed run the backline as best they can?
Cap Stew says, anything you can stew, I can stew better. Able to find a lot of great value early on. It's going to be that Black Panther triple kill that really closes the gate on Charlotte and burns through Hail Monkey Man half of their time.
It's completely gone, and they're going to a 1v1 fight against Black Demon. Can they be able to catch him before they get to one of their teammates? Orcon gets rid of Black Demon. That may be the stagger necessary. You've got 15 seconds approaching, and everyone's going to try and hold on tight directly to Cart.
It's going to be a lot of aggression, neither here nor there, but just in the spawn room, sent to the underworld in record time. 60 seconds off the clock, essentially down to 0 already. The overtime timer ticks away, and with the spawn advantage, they may be able to touch a couple of times, but oh, never mind, they're going to get walled into spawn. Nobody's able to make it out, and Philip O'Berry, the win has nearly been handed to them.
It literally went 19 meters. You get to that
tough, man.
0.01 more, and you'll be able to take this one. It's been a good recovery from out of Seek, but you got to give it to the gut check. That is from Philip O'Berry. They're going to have a minute 48 to do it through a single minute of play. Everyone got completely wiped out twice. I see two things out there. Black Demon, not on the Black Panther. How you feel about that?
Wants to be on something that's a little bit harder to kill, and I think that makes sense. Thing has the passive in the game where he isn't able to be moved by a lot of character mobility and a lot of character movement, so it helps you stay on Cart a lot easier without getting booped off by something simple. And I think going into this Thing versus Thing, you've got the Hulk in the back pocket as well. A lot of really good damage on the side of Charlotte. Is it going to be enough to prevent 19 meters of movement? I don't know.
See if that ends up happening. One of the other fluxes I'm seeing is that they have also brought out the Loki. So they're going to try and put a lot of clones in a lot of places and teleport between probably a lot of up and low situations vertically. So will the time simply outplay them? Will they be outplayed by Black Demon? My own Requiem doesn't feel like they're very sure about what they want to bring out to this fight. They will go to the Invisible Woman. So we're playing again to that triple strategist. Loki kind of feels like he's anything but. He's here for mind games.
Yeah, Loki, definitely an interesting choice at a time like this. You want to try and get that, yeah, like you said, the mind games, the uncertainty of where you need to be getting hyper-aggressive. And check out this speed. Unfortunately, Reverse Reaper's wall gets in the way of their teammate Archon. Not going to cost anybody their life quite yet. The wall goes up, a couple of isolations, but Vanguard versus Vanguard, nobody's going to be really going down. You have to go through them into the back line. Kingsbreak finds that first blood onto Loco. Asian Witch has already fallen all the same. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Philip O'Berry with that spawn advantage that they have. Resurrection onto Michi Fan, though. Meki Fan. It's going to be 80 seconds on the clock. Hulk is gone. This has got to be the beginning of the end. I think Philip O'Berry has this series in the bag.
It's cleanup duty. Isle U. Seek goes down. Cardinals rise. And that will be Philip O'Berry. They cross the line and they will end up finishing this one off. They take it here on Escort. It was a tough fight. We got to go to a map 3, and what a tight one this was. Maybe it's the beginning of a long-lasting rivalry going late season.
I mean, without a doubt, the closest series we've seen on stream just historically through VESL Marvel Rivals so far. Now, of course, that hasn't been a huge amount of games as the game just came out, but I've got to say, I mean, I am blown away by players on every side. I think Black Demon lived up to their expectation. I think Cap Stew did a great job going blow for blow with one of the highest ranked players in the game, likely in VESL. So a beautiful performance across the board. And while there was a win for our friends at Philip O'Berry here tonight, Hail Monkey Man, there's one more winner tonight as well.
It's just a quick drum roll, please. Hold on. It is Cat Peaches!
There we go. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to say it or I was supposed to say. It is Cat Peaches. A big congratulations to Cat Peaches for being our 7th and final winner here tonight to wrap things up. So normally we only have 3 winners here at VESL, but we had 10 today, including our 7 giveaways. That is pretty exciting.
That was fantastic. We got to see some great esports. We got to see some fantastic STEM. We got to see all of you really bring it out and showcase and strut your stuff for all these awesome students. I want to thank everyone that was here today. Pizza Time as well as Precise that were able to be both our producer as well as our observer. Thank you so much for being amazing as always, Septilence, and of course to all of you that were able to put your best foot forward when it comes to our STEM competitions, our esports competitions. It's been fantastic. We're gonna have even more going over into our next week. It's week 5 on the other end of things. Septilence, I know you're gonna be there. I know you guys are gonna have a ton of fun.
I am going to be here. We're going to be super excited to be back with you guys. VESL Thursday Night Lights next week. We'll be super excited to be right back here with some more Valorant, with some more Brawlhalla, and you guessed it, some more Marvel Rivals. Thank you all so much for watching. Check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other, and we'll see you guys in the next one.